Hello, everybody. There's nobody here right now. I know that because my other live stream I'm trying to do would not go live. I have no idea what is going on over there, but I've scheduled it like twice, and every time it counts down, and there's no go live button that shows up. And if I go to my go lives, nothing in there. So I just tried to schedule this one, and it's like, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and go live now instead of at 10:45. So I'm gonna hang around and see if anybody shows up. I don't know if anybody here or not, but if you are here, would you please go and just say something in the chat because then I know who you are. Because YouTube doesn't give me a list of who's in the chat, which would be really cool if you could see like who was there. I think they do that on Instagram. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. At least I think it would be. Yes. Sorry about that. I don't know what that sound was I just made. Oh, somebody was here and now they're gone. But I'm just going to start talking here because this is going to be streaming again later, anyways. Not streaming, but it will be, what do they call it? The old, um, it will be back on live stream replay or something like that. So, see what's going on. But yeah, once again, my name is Johnny, and this is, I don't know if I already said this or not, but this is Go ADHD Go. This is a channel where we give you tips and tricks to help make life suck less. And what that means is we give tips and tricks that help make life better, dealing with ADHD and all the fun and exciting things that come along with having ADHD. And if you have ADHD, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All that fun and things. Yeah, that's what we talk about. Or actually, that I talk about on my channel. But we also do these live streams. I'm going to start doing them, hopefully, like once a week or once every 2 weeks, just because it's kind of fun to connect with people that are in the ADHD community and my subscribers and people who haven't subscribed yet that are just tooling around on the internet. On YouTube is kind of, it's weird. It's weird. Like some people just go on YouTube and just kind of like scroll through and just waste a ton of time watching videos. They're weird. I definitely do not do that. I definitely did not do that for like 2 hours this morning either. I did do that. Anyways, if anybody's showing up and they were coming to the other live stream that I had scheduled, like I said, I don't know what happened. YouTube was getting all sorts of wonky today. But I'm gonna go over here and check out my list, even though I'm just talking to myself. I don't think anybody. I don't think this thingamajigger got pushed out into the YouTuber thing to my subscribers or anything. But if they don't show up, that's fine with me because I told them many times. Don't actually, I haven't told them many times. I've mentioned in live streams quite a few times that that notification bell can get you into a lot of distractibility trouble. So I kind of harp on about how it's not a good thing to click that bell for videos. But then again, when there's live streams, that's how you find out about the live streams if you have the notifications on. So I don't know what to do now. I wonder if there's a way you can set it up for just give you notifications for live streams and nothing else. I don't know. I don't know. But I know I don't want to sit around here asking you to subscribe to my channel or anything like that. I'd rather do other things. Like I'll read some stuff off of my notes I got here about what we should talk about today on this live stream. And it looks like, there's all kinds of stuff on here. Yes, that and that and that and yeah, quite a bit of stuff. Like I said, I'm here to talk about that stuff. I'm not here to ask you to subscribe to my channel. I mean, who wants to hear some guy with ADHD ramble on about things he discovered to help deal with his ADHD? Nobody, right? I don't know. This is basically right now, since there's nobody here, this is like a live stream where I'm just winging it and making a video about whatever. But actually, I do have topics I would like to discuss today, and I might just ramble on about those right now because if you're watching this live stream that's 4 minutes in, you're like, what in the world's going on here? Why is this guy just talking about nothing? Well, usually at this point, I talk to people who are in the chat and then they start asking questions and we're interacting down in there. And then I kind of get on to the topics at hand that I wanted to discuss. And today's got all kinds of little topics to discuss. And I decided to kind of make like a little theme this week of things to discuss in the live stream with people who are not here. Oh, there's somebody. Somebody just appeared. If whoever just appeared, if you'd like to say something in the chat so I know who it is, that'd be great because it doesn't tell me. Oh, they're gone. I think it's not even anybody really popping up. I think it's like YouTube just automatically every 30 seconds feels bad for me. And they're like, just make it look like somebody's watching. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just going to check out my little list of stuff to talk about. I like to talk about things. Words are hard. But let's first of all, this has been an interesting week. Last week on Sunday, was it Sunday? Saturday night, Sunday morning, where I'm located in America, the time changed. I don't know if it's daylight saving time or what it is now, but the time basically jumps forward 1 hour at 2 o'clock in the morning. And that just jacks up my entire day for about a month. And it's really weird. And I'm always curious if other people with ADHD experience this exact same thing when the time changes. In the fall, when it falls backwards, I don't think it's as bad for me. But it still throws me out of whack. And I've always wondered, like, well, everybody says it kind of like throws off their schedule and they kind of get all weirded out and, things are just, you know, out of order for a couple days. But I'm wondering with ADHD people, since we tend to be more, I would say, like in tune and we seem to notice stuff more, um, if our weirdness when the time changes, for those that do have that weirdness and have ADHD when the time changes, if it's because of where the sun is at that time. Because I've discovered that the sun really, where it's located, it seems to really be a big part of how I know what part of the day it is. As dingy as that sounds, um, but it just seems like when the sun's like I get up in the morning and it's you know sunny out one in the morning, not really sunny, but like 6 o'clock in the morning, it's kind of the sun's coming up, and then next day it's down because this time has now gone forward, so now it's 7 o'clock instead of 6. It's just weird that it just. I'm so used to that type of where the sunlight is and the flow and all that stuff. It just I don't know. It really throws me off. So 1 minute it's like if I feel like I'll just be working or doing whatever, and I think it should be like around 2 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock, and that's because of the time. And it's weird how that just messes with me. Not a good time. Yeah, but I don't mind, really. It just takes me a while to get used to. I always think it would be like, "Oh, it'll just take me a couple days to get used to this." No, I swear it's like a month before I really get used to, um, the time being where it's at. And then usually by the time I get fully comfortable with it, then it changes again in the fall and falls backwards. I'm out of whack for a couple more months after that. Nothing I can do about it. It's just the way that it is, and I gotta be fine with it. And also this week was a full moon. I don't know if you're like me. Full moons mess with me big time. To the extent of I have to now start putting in my calendar every time there's a full moon, and then give myself an alert a couple days before, so I know it's coming. Because usually I don't check, but I'll just have a certain day during the month, and I'll just start feeling really out of sorts. Just feeling weird. I don't know how to explain it. And then I always like I just feel, I don't know, confused and weird, and I can't really put a finger on what it is. Every time I check, it's like, oh, full moon in 2 days. Always, always, always. Um, but usually it's like the day before the full moon is the worst, and the day after is bad for some reason. It's weird. And I used to always just think it was, maybe I just kind of subconsciously knew the moon was coming and my brain just gets messing with me and stuff. But I don't know. But the proof came that it definitely messes with me somehow because when I checked my sleep cycle app, there's a section where you can check to see how your sleep during moon phases. And during every month, it's this and then at full moon, just goes, whoom, just drops and then back up. Every single month that happens. So I don't know. Maybe it is something in my head just knows, but yeah, it's weird. Full moon. Excuse me, something poked me in the eyeball. Besides my finger, I just did that. So yeah, that's so a week where the time changes and there's a full moon. It's just weird. I just it's been bizarre. I don't know. I'm just wondering how everybody else's week went, but there's nobody here, so I don't know if I should ask that now. I'll ask myself, "Hey, Johnny, how did your week go?" My week, hey Bobby, how did your week go? Where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing? Bobby, 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 where did you get a pogo stick? Did you gonna that was close. Okay. Well, how was your week? Oh, really? Well, that's fun. Bobby went and checked out the new iPhone 13 mini. Well, that's not new, but so I guess it's an older one. So that's the one I wanted. Are you gonna buy it for me? No? Why do you want it? Oh, to do videos. Oh, you want to do videos now. The guy who doesn't want to be on camera wants to now do videos. Good job, Bobby. But that's what I want it for too. I want an iPhone 13 mini so I can hook it up like I do now. Right now I'm using my 10R into my thing here. So it plugs into my MacBook and I use this Camo app. But the way now the focus on my but 10R. I'm sorry. I'm talking to Bobby. He's over there. But yeah, it does like a jump focus sometimes. It's kind of weird, and I don't know. Plus, my phone's old, and I kind of like running out of storage, so I need to get a new one. So I figured 13 mini. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just babbling on. So yeah. Plus, it's easier to hold, and it's harder to drop, and it's just I don't know, perfect for little ADHD people, I think, because we have our phones with us all the time. Well, most people do. So yeah, but yeah. So if you get one, Bobby, what color are you getting? So you want that green? Oh, the green. He wants the new green one. Okay, well, I want white or starlight or maybe the light pink. I don't know. I just think the pink's kind of cool. Well, you can't see his fingerprints as much. And then plus with my brand of my phone's got fingerprints on it, you're focusing on that. And I'm sorry. Me and Bobby shouldn't be talking. Bobby, just take your pogo stick outside before you fall down. Before you fall down again. Just take it outside. Oh, no, he's gonna go ride his unicycle. Oh, he's an interesting dude. Anyways, if you haven't seen Bobby yet, he pops up in a couple of my videos. A lot of people think we look alike. I don't see it. People do. They say I do. So yeah, 12 minutes in, and nobody here. I guess this is what I get for just kind of randomly scheduling this. Well, I scheduled the thing on Wednesday. I figured I'll schedule it on Wednesday. It gives people long enough to Saturday arrives that they'll know about it, and they did. But then YouTube's like, yeah, we don't know what's going on, so we're just gonna go ahead here and we're not gonna let people know. I guess I don't know. I do not know. Hopefully this mic seems to be picking up like every little sound. So I'm having some sinus issues. So hope you're not getting it. That was gross. I'm sorry. Oh boy. What else is going on? Yeah, here it says on my list. Here's ask if anything. If anyone has learned anything to help with their like your daily ADHD struggles. So if you're just listening to this live stream on replay and you somehow made it 13 minutes in of listening to me ramble on about nothing, well, I have to talk about some stuff, but just curious. Leave a comment below and like if anything that this week that you've learned, or maybe even this month, or within the past month, or anything that just the most recent thing you've learned, or something that has really helped with your ADHD issues. Something that's really just made like those like life changing moments. Apps that you've discovered, techniques that you've learned, things like that. I can remember, like speaking of apps, I can remember when I first found an app. I use an app called Spark for email, but there was one called Newton, and I use Evernote for all my business, work projects and stuff. And every time I got an email, I'd have to take that email and then remember to go back in there and copy and paste out the stuff you have to do, and then put that into Evernote, because if I forward the thing from my email into Evernote, then it adds another person into the conversation list, which is Evernote, or my Evernote email, and sometimes I'll respond to an email and it would just send it to that Evernote. I don't know, it just added a layer of complication that caused problems a couple times. But Newton, I was able just to swipe an email and it would send it right into Evernote. And I remember the first time I did that, this massive relief that came over me, because I didn't have to remember to go and cut and paste stuff from that email and put it into Evernote. I just literally swipe my finger and it sent it right on in there without having to forward and causing another person to be stuck into that little conversation loop. And like I said, I went to reply to somebody's email. For some reason, it just replied to Evernote, which was the last person I had forwarded the email to. It was not good. I'm sure that's fixed by now, but yeah. So Spark is another. I discovered Spark after a while. Spark app had a little bit more features to it that I liked, being able to send it to Things 3 and some other apps. So I just switched from Newton to Spark, and plus Spark was free, and Newton was kind of getting weird. So they're both great apps. I just love Spark. But have you guys discovered anything recently? I mean, heck, that Spark thing in Newton, that was a long time ago. But the one I discovered this week, that Forest app, that's the real deal Holyfield. Shout out to anybody who just finished those lyrics. I think, is that Snoop Dogg? I can't remember, but I know it's a rap song, says that. But yeah, the Forest app, I don't know if you've seen it. A lot of people talk about it. It's kind of like a Pomodoro app, which I kind of use the Pomodoro technique, but not really. Um, but it's an app I'm sure you've heard about. It's a paid app. I know it's on iOS, and I think it's on Android also. But you basically you pick up your phone and you open the app and it says plant a tree, and you plant that tree and it puts the screen up. And if you swipe away from that screen to go to something else, your tree dies. So it kind of forces you to not use your phone. Like it's kind of like a Pomodoro, like you'll makes you work for 25 minutes. But the fact that if you swipe it up, your little tree dies, man, there is something about that I'm like, I need to really probably respond to this message that's popped up, but I got another 15 minutes and I respond to that message, my tree's gonna die. So it's a great way to keep you off your phone. If you have ADHD and you have a problem with getting on your phone and just going to town, and wasting time, because I definitely don't do that. I do that. But yeah, Forest, boy, it will make you stop using your phone as much. It's pretty cool. It's also available, I know, on my iPad. I've got it on my phone and on my iPad. Uh, it's like a double whammy because you're like, oh, it's on my phone. I just move over here to my iPad and nope, it's there also. So I can put them on both and kind of keeps me under control there. And I also discovered if you have an iPhone or any Apple device, iPhone, MacBook, any Apple device, iPads. Why am I telling you? Everybody knows what they have. But they have a thing called focus mode, and holy cow, that thing's super effective also. You can go in and go on YouTube, see if you can find the videos for it. There's a ton of videos out there probably about Apple focus modes. But you can basically take your phone and set up a focus mode for, like, I have one called video writing or video making or whatever. And when I enable that focus mode for video writing, my home screen changes, like all my apps disappear except for these widgets on iPhone, widgets that have, that I've set up that have my videos I'm working on and Patreon stuff I'm setting, like just video focused stuff, and all the other apps, they're gone except for, my Forest app or anything that's to do with my videos. And so that way it's, I'm not distracted by them. It's like they say, out of sight, out of mind. If you can't see Instagram and you can't see any of the other apps that like waste your time, I don't think about it. I don't mess with it. So yeah, the focus modes. I'm slowly learning about how to set those up. Oh, and you can like turn off notifications for things, and you can customize any focus mode to be pinpointed to like whatever you're doing at the time. You like work stuff, you can do work, and you only get notifications for work and whatever else. So yeah, if you have an iPhone or any Apple product, that look into the focus modes. Pretty cool. Oh, and speaking of something else cool that has nothing to do with ADHD. Well, this is an ADHD thing. Actually, I know. Now I think about it, but productivity tips are helpful things. But yesterday, I stumbled across the video while researching the iPhone 13 mini, and this guy had a video that showed how you can do invisible messages on an iPhone. And I've been an Apple user for eternity, and I never had heard about this. I've never seen videos about it. I'm watching Apple videos, iPhone videos all the time. I've never heard anybody discuss this. I've never seen it on the Apple talk about it or anything. But if you go into iMessages and you type a message to somebody that's like on another iPhone, I guess, but you go to send them a message. Type out your message, and then when you go to hit the blue arrow to send it, just hold the arrow, just push it and hold it, and it'll pop up a thing. It'll say invisible ink or pop in or whatever. And then if you do like choose invisible ink and you send it, when they get the message, it's a bubble with a bunch of lines. Like it looks like sparkles on it or something. I don't know. It's like kind of blurred out, and then you swipe your finger on it, and then they can read it, and then it fades back out into that jumbled pile of dots again. It's pretty cool. And up at the top, it'll say like send normal or echo. You hit echo, it'll pop up on the screen, and there's all these bubbles. It's pretty much just dingy, but it's one of those things that is just kind of cool. So now you can send secret messages to people. So if somebody picks up their phone, they can't see like if you wrote, Tom is a turd, and you send it to Debbie, then Tom accidentally picks up her phone. He won't see that unless he wrote his finger on it. So let's hope Tom's not watching this, because Tom's a turd. I've heard. If your name's Tom, I'm probably not talking about you. Or am I? So, yeah, just talking. Let me take a sip from ye old that chapter mug. Yes, once again, another live stream where I talk about that chapter, which is probably one of my favorite YouTube channels. If you've never found it, after the live stream, go watch it. 20 minutes in. If you're still watching this, I love you. What else can we talk about? Oh, well, here we go. Anything about this? Anything helpful with ADHD? Speaking of other things that have helpful with ADHD, I had a coaching call with Karen Broda. Once again, Karen, I can never remember your YouTube channel name is real long. It's like ADHD lifestyle, nutrition, and fitness for ADHD people, things, stuff. It's not that long. Search YouTube for Karen Broda, Broda, and you'll find her. Look for the black and white striped shirts. But anyways, we had a coaching call this week where she's giving me some ADHD coaching stuff, and I've been helping her edit her YouTube videos. But anyways, man, it was one of those things where she said, hey, if you help me edit my videos, then maybe we can do like a barter thing where you do my videos and I'll give you some coaching. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. Coaching, I don't know what it does, but sure. Why not? Oh man. Like every time I've had a talk with her, it's been like just such a incredibly helpful stuff you just don't expect, I guess. I didn't expect. Every time I leave a little call with her, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is really helpful. Like, it's amazing. Look at how helpful it is. So, yeah, if you're having struggles with ADHD stuff, like coaches are interesting, because I said in the last live stream is whenever you get helpful information from from friends or family members, your brain processes it differently. You get it from your psychiatrist or psychologist or doctor, your brain processes it differently. But when it's coming from somebody who's not well, Karen's a friend, but like close family or your doctor, it's like my brain processes it differently. I don't know why. It just does. And the point I always use is that I put it this way: it's coming from somebody outside the family is like if somebody told you, if your friends or family tell you, like, oh, someone's like, you're beautiful. You think, oh, well, thank you. You take it one way. But if somebody that's not friends or family, just another person says, excuse me, you're beautiful, that hits differently. And that's how I think, like with the whole coaching thing is it's not coming from friends or family or a doctor who you feel it has to help you. I don't know, but it's super helpful. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, the cold Karen, that talk was really great. Actually, it made me change up my YouTube, the way that I'm doing videos now. I've gone from using my big Sony a6000 camera, which I absolutely love, and my whatever I was using, lighting setup and all that stuff, to completely changing it, which you might be able to notice how it looks different, but at the same time, it looks the same. I'll have to put some photos. I I put some photos on Instagram of what I've done, and I've basically I cannot talk today at all. It's like I've eaten peanut butter right before I started this live stream, which I did. But anyways, I've been having a roadblock where I haven't been able to get videos made because I have this thing is like has to be this and that, and I don't know, just all the brain stuff. And I realized after chatting with Broda that something popped in my head and was just like, hey, you have such a hard time trying to do videos when you're doing all the camera stuff, or whatever else you're doing and writing. There's like some sort of roadblock going on. But I do live streams. This is easy peasy Japanesey. With using my phone and the Camo app and then my MacBook. Like, maybe I should just do videos that way. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. I think the video quality is going to be better, like clarity wise. But I actually turned in my standing desk, which I might have put a photo on Instagram. Yep, I'll put it on the YouTube post community thing also. But I built a standing desk that's made out of metal pipes and wood. It's a tank basically. But what's great about it is it's all made with pipe fittings and metal pipes. Is I've made it so that I have now my lighting, my key light, which is a ring light over here. If I look this way, you can see it. My hair light and lights behind me. This is all a mobile studio now. In the past, I had to do all my shooting inside in my little studio area here in one spot. Everything. I can turn this desk around. I can move it into the other room, which I usually do my live streams in. I can move it anywhere around my full basement. If I want to take it upstairs, I can do that. And I'll have this exact lighting that I have. So I don't know where we started with this, but oh yeah, we talked about Karen and changes and stuff. And now I'm shooting my videos using my little mobile studio. And there's somebody else in here, and they haven't said anything because they're lurking, as I like to call it. So hello, lurker. I dig it. You're just here listening to me ramble on, and now in a minute it'll disappear and be like, this dude's just way too weird. Pretty funny that we're 27 minutes into this. I'm just talking because this will go back onto my channel. So if you're watching the replay of this, thanks for hanging around. I'm going to talk about some more stuff. But here we are, and what did I say? March 19th. Once again, apologies for the one that didn't work earlier. I don't know what the deal was. It was just all sorts of crazy madness. Uh-oh, there it is. Checksmick. Hello, Checksmicks. How you doing? I've been rambling on for 27 minutes. I was such a proud of myself sending out this setting up the premiere date or whatever for my live stream. I did on Wednesday. I was like, that gives people enough time to, so they know about it. And then I went to go live and it was like, sorry, no live stream button for you. Counted down the timer. It's nothing. Tried to do another one and it was the same thing. So I had to set up a new one that nobody knows about. The fact you found this means that you have the notification button on, don't you? Probably. Actually, or not, you just stumbled across it. But anyways, it is March 19th, which means in 10 days, it is going to be the 1-year anniversary of my very first Go ADHD Go video. It's not the anniversary of the first time I decided to start a YouTube channel, because that was like 7 years ago. ADHD. That's how that goes. But yeah, 1-year anniversary. On March 28th. I'm actually thinking about doing a video where it's, I don't know, the look back video. Who knows what I'm going to do. Lots of videos I'm writing and making. Hopefully I'm going to start being able to make them better now because of my little new setup and kind of new approach to making videos. Who knows? Wait, what happened? There we go. The 1-year anniversary. What else is going on? Well, I had a topic to talk about today called that I did a poll a while back, and I was asking people what type of video they'd like me to make, like my ADHD story, and there was a couple other things in there. And one was called my chaotic organization. Genfro, hello. I don't know if you noticed my other live stream was supposed to happen earlier, but something was all weird with it, and it wouldn't let me do it. It wouldn't let me go live, so I had to reschedule 10:30, and it still wouldn't do it. So I had to set up a whole new one. Bummer. So proud of hoping other people will find it and give them a lot of time, letting them know. I don't know why I do that. I think like that people actually want to watch me babble on, but that's why we're at this weird channel thing here. And for the past 30 minutes, I basically just been babbling about whatever until Checksmuck showed up. And you. Let's see what's going on here. What else I do? Yeah, the anniversary. Oh yeah, the topic of this live stream. Like I said, usually the first, who knows how long we babble and talk to people in the chat, and then eventually I'll flip a topic or whatever. But I guess I just mentioned a little bit until I'll probably do this on the next live stream also. But like I said, I did a poll and people said they were interested in my ADHD story and chaotic organization, which is what I call my organization system, because I've watched so many of these, YouTube productivity gurus and stuff, and they're always like, "Here's a good way to be productive. You follow the GTD, the Getting Things Done system, or this system, or that system." And I couldn't do that. I tried just to be frustrated because it just didn't work for me. And I just slowly developed my own system, which is chaotic. And like my to-do list, I don't even want to show people anymore because every time I show it, somebody goes, "That gave me anxiety," because it's not in folders or anything. It's just a giant list. Um, which looks like a mess, but I have it organized in a way that I know where everything's at by using emojis. Yes, emojis. Every task has an emoji, and every emoji has depending on that emoji, it means something, what kind of task that is. My work projects has the little bullseye. My video projects have a little clapper board, that action, that thing. It's that emoji. If it's like a work to do, but not a project thing, it's a red circle. Um, anything money wise has anything I have to pay has the little dollar bills flying away, stuff like that. And I can then go in and put them all together how they need to be in my little to do list. And if I have to search for something, be like, "Oh, I need to do like what are my work projects today?" I can just search and then put that emoji and it pulls it all up. So it's a mess, but it's a mess where I know where everything's at. It works. And I always say chaotic organization is, I think a lot of ADHD people do, and then they kind of feel bad about it. And I don't think they should, because whatever organization system works for you, even if it's not, you know, the what people would think as being organized. Like if you have a bunch of papers on your desk, but you know where exactly everything you need is. Like I have to pay the electric bill, and boom, it's in this pile, or I have to pay this on that pile, right? I need this note. I know where it's at, even though it's little piles on my desk. That's organized. Now, if you take all that stuff and get organized, like most people say to do, put it in file cabinets and put it in whatever, and then you keep forgetting to do it because you can't find it, or you don't, out of sight, out of mind, you're not organized. The papers and stuff are organized, but that's not organized. That's not organ. I told you I had peanut butter before I did this, and for some reason my mouth isn't working. But yeah, the just because your things are visually appear to be organized doesn't mean that they are organized for you. So I call it chaotic organization. It's just madness, basically. My Dawn, my significant wonderful, she's she's pretty, file based and stuff that way. Not me. I have things all over the place, but I know where they're at. I try to keep it out of view of, you know, if people are over, they don't see it. Like it's, under my desk or something like that. But yeah, chaotic organization. Let's see, Genfro says, "I appreciate the dedication. The babbling must go on." Yes, exactly. That's what I did. I just signed on and just started talking because I figured this is going to be put back onto my channel as just a live stream replay. It's better than me just sitting here. I've been on live streams replays before when you're just watching somebody sit there and wait for people to show up. I figured I just ramble on about something. I got something to talk about. I actually make little notes and stuff, things I should talk about, you know, in live stream. So I'll just talk about those until people show up and talk about them again, maybe. You say none of the Genfro says none of these systems work for me either. My to-do list is chaos as well. Yeah, I think a lot of ADHD people are like that. But if it's like I said, if it's a total mess and for some reason, but you know what needs to be done and days they need to be done, what needs to be like due dates on stuff, awesome. Whatever works best, all that matters. Like I know with Evernote, which is a great app that I've used forever. They have notebooks and tags and all this stuff in there. And I think it was a guy that started it said he doesn't use any notebooks or anything. Everything just gets poured into there, and then he uses search to find what he needs. So that's somebody who created an organizational app that doesn't use it organizingly, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, and if I know people always wonder like, well, what apps do I use for my chaotic organization? I love Things 3, which is just for Mac or Apple devices, but it works. It's like butter on iOS devices. It's just visually cool. Um, I just like the way that works, the simplicity of it, and it's just the one I ended up using the most. It's also the one that a lot of people don't. They love it, but they don't like the pricing structure because you have to buy the iPad app, the iPhone app, and the Mac app. It ends up being like $80 total, but it's one-time payment where most task managers are monthly payments, whatever. I've used all of them, whatever task manager you're thinking of, I've tried it. But yeah, Things 3 is just the one I've stuck with and absolutely love it. I also love Evernote, which I do for my work stuff. Um, and it's just a digital notebook. And then for video stuff, I use Craft, which is another buttery Mac OS app. Um, it's like a notebook. I don't know. It's kind of like Notion, but without databases. Notion I also use um, to keep track of video stuff. I don't know. Like I said, it's a chaotic organization system, but it works for me. And that's all that matters. What else did we talk? We talked about the full moon earlier. At least I did. What else? Oh, I'm speaking of productivity. I found a YouTube channel app while I was researching. I don't even know what I was researching. Something tech wise, iPads or something. His name's Christopher Lawley, Lawley. Is his channel. Christopher Lawley is his YouTube channel, and he talks about Apple stuff. But he also talks about his task management system and whatever else. But he has ADHD. One of his videos he talked about it. So it's always good to find a channel where somebody with ADHD is teaching you about productivity and apps that they use. Now it's not ADHD focused, but the fact that he has ADHD makes me listen to that a little bit more because when they go, "Hey, I use this app and I have ADHD," I go, "Okay, I'm listening." More than if somebody goes, "I use this app," and if they don't have ADHD because it's a different mindset. So, but what I find interesting is this apps that I love seems to be the same ones that he loves. Things 3, Craft, um, which is I find interesting. ADHD person finds the benefits in the exact same apps that me, an ADHD person, has. Good sign. Sam, good morning, Samus. And Sam McLean, hello. I remember you from yesterday from Brian G. Johnson. Love, love, love Brian G. Johnson. I think I mentioned Brian G. Johnson in every live stream because if anybody's doing YouTube or they're thinking about doing YouTube, just go watch every single Brian G. Johnson video. I would say start at the very, very beginning, like just go to his channel and go videos, sort by oldest, but YouTube has changed so much. I just say go from newest and go backwards until you start hearing things that have changed, whatever. Because man, you learn everything from that guy. Him and Nick Nimmin are the two people that I learned pretty much everything YouTube from. And plus, they're just super cool guys. They're great. Absolutely love them. Same as said, I pre-ordered a book called The Unplanner Made by an ADHD Person. The Unplanner, a book. I can't read books. I should really do it. I need to start doing like audiobooks though. Actually, I want to get the audiobook for The Freak Factor by David Randell. Anybody likes to read books um, that'll change your life, that one will do it. Especially if you have ADHD or any neurotypical type thing. He talks a lot about like um, autism and people with ADHD, but his big thing is your strengths are your weaknesses, or your weaknesses are your strengths. That's what it is. Just incredible stories, incredible advice. It'll make you look at your disability in a whole new light. It but he's got videos on YouTube. If you search Freak Factor Dave Randall, you'll see he does a lot of talks for businesses and stuff like that. Really funny guy. He's like 6'6" or 6'8", 6'4", 6'6". I don't know. Wears all pink. Can't miss him. But yeah, the Unplanner made by an ADHD. I have to check that out. It's kind of funny. It's like I hate scheduling and planning, but I have to schedule and plan. But I have to tell myself to be reminded that if I don't follow my schedule time by time by time, that it's okay. Because I'm the type of person that's like, if I schedule, I should do this from 10 till 12. And if I start at 10:03, then I failed and the whole day's ruined. I, s- I have to get out of that. So now instead of scheduling, I kind of throw it in there in my calendar, like, here's what we got to do. Or I throw it in the things three, like, here's the 3 things that have to be done today, no matter what, whatever order you do them in or mix and match. As long as they're done, that's all that matters. And that seems to be huge for me. Yeah. And Sam McLean says, nope, books are way too challenging. They're I can like name the books that I've read from cover to cover. And that's kind of sad. But books that it was all before I was diagnosed with ADHD. So it's hard for me. But I read there was a Doors book called something this I can't remember. It was a big thick book. I had it for a speed reading class when I was in high school. I did that, the Wayne Gretzky biography, the Fish book, the Oasis book. Um, I think that was about it. Driven to Distraction, and then there was a book by Motley Fool that I read that are like bigger books, but like fiction books, I can't do it. I don't know why. Don't know why. Everybody asks, what's my favorite book? I don't know if anybody could tell what my favorite book is, but Go Dog Go. Hence the name of my channel. See, same. It's an ADHD planner, not really a book. I was just trying to point out it's not an app. Oh, yeah. You know what's weird is for me, um, Samus, is that I cannot use a paper planner or write things down on paper, because once I write it down, people say, like, well, once you write it down, it's out of your head. But my thing is, once I write it down, it's out of my head, it's out of mine, it's gone. I won't look at it again. I just never do. So I don't use paper planners. And plus, for me, the big thing is, I always tell people is that paper planners cannot remind you when to do something. Like people like I write down in my paper planner, I'd have a doctor's appointment today from 8 till 9. I'm gonna not remember that, but my phone will remind me. My computer reminds me. My iPad reminds me. Everything audible. Bling, my Apple Watch says you have this coming up. I can't miss it. If I write it down, I just won't look again. People are like, well, you have to keep looking at it to remind us. Like, it doesn't matter. Just how I am. So I had to force myself into using digital apps, and I never regretted it. So I had forced to use a calendar, forced to use a to-do app, forced to use Evernote. But once I did it, I cannot imagine not using those things. What? Oh, yeah. And Sam McLean says, books are way too challenging. Oh, I already said that. And Sam McLean, I got Audible and I rewind every 10 minutes. Yeah, I probably do that also. Because I listen to stuff, but I don't really listen to stuff. Like if when I'm walking around all day, I don't think I have them down here. I have earbuds, like Bluetooth earbuds, which by the way, I know I've mentioned before, are wonderful for if you have crazy brain like me. Because I put one in and I'll put on a YouTube video or something else, music. Right now I'm like on a classical music kick. As long as I got something playing in my ear, just one ear, it's like just one. Um, I will. My brain doesn't go as chaotic. It's amazing. So I'm always listening to something, which I absolutely love. But yeah, I was thinking about getting Audible so I can listen to the David Rendell book, the Freak Factor book, which I have, but I've never read the whole thing all the way through in like one thing. But I figured if I listen to it, I'll just listen to it over and over and over and soak in all that goodness. Have you driven to distraction on audio and you like it? Yeah, I think when I got driven to distraction, it was before. I know they probably had audiobooks because I was diagnosed like in 2005 or six. Um, but I just bought the book and actually read it. No, no, but yeah, but I like cried and because it was like somebody just followed me around my whole life and was like, "Here's what Johnny does," and then just put it into a book. It was weird, um, but it was great, knowing that I wasn't the only one out there, with the wild brain going on. Gang Grandpa says, "Hey, so you read about Wayne Gretzky? You into hockey? What city are you in? What's your favorite NHL team?" Ask because I'm from Montreal and we are obsessed. I let me see. First got into hockey back when Wayne Gretzky was just starting with the Oilers, and I remember um, watching the games on TV. And it's interesting because I can't remember any player after Gretzky where watching him even on TV when every time he was on the ice, like you just stood up in your chair and got closer to the TV because it was always just crazy. But I've been a fan of hockey since then, a long time. But I don't watch it as much anymore. I catch up on stuff online. I love hockeyfights.com. I don't know why. It's fun. Um, but I used to live in Ohio. I'm still near Ohio, so my team is the Columbus Blue Jackets. I lived in Detroit or near Detroit for a while, so I like the Red Wings. But I like all teams. I love the Seattle Kraken. I haven't seen many games of theirs, but man, whoever designed that logo and that everything about their team branding and stuff is awesome. And I can say well, I'm a designer, so cool design stuff like on a hockey team is very like rare. But yeah, it's as soon as I saw the Kraken logo and all that stuff, I was like, oh, I gotta have that stuff. It's so cool. But yeah, hockey is yeah, Canadians are just it's a whole nother level. People say like Americans are like excited about football, but man, I lived up near Canada and that's just it's hockey is everything. It's just insane how m- into it they are, which is awesome. And same thing says you gotta have alarms. Yeah, I have to. I have them set all the time, like throughout the entire day. They're always going off. Um, I had to get in the habit of setting them. I had to get in the habit of putting everything into to-do list or into things 3, my task manager or into Evernote, whatever I have, whatever thing I'm doing that I need. I always got to get into the habit of putting it in there. And I just got into the habit of telling myself anytime something popped in my head is to tell myself you're going to forget that. Because in my head I'm like, "Oh, I've got to cook chicken or whatever for my dog in 10 minutes." And my brain goes I'd go like, "Oh, I'll remember that." My brain's like, "You're gonna forget that." And most of the time, I don't forget it, but I just automatically put it into my app and set a timer for when I need to go off and good to go. So they're constantly going off throughout the day, keeping me on track. You see, Seamus says, "Yeah, I need the reminders. I think I'll use it for organizing thoughts or for editing or other work." Yeah, I tried using a notebook like for stuff besides um, like task and work things and all that. But yeah, once I write it down, it's gone. So if I write something down, I just take a picture of it with my phone and then I send it into Evernote, which is my work app. Or now I've gotten into the habit of using my iPad and my Apple Pencil to write things down. But since I always have my phone with me, most stuff just goes right in there. So I capture everything is what I always tell people. Always have your phone with you, which we do usually anyways. But anytime something pops in your head, idea wise, to do list wise, anything, immediately capture it, put it in your phone so you don't lose it. That's how like every because I mean think usually like when I do video ideas or when I was doing comedy, um, or music, when I wrote music, anything that popped in my head, um, I try to remember it, but I couldn't. So by capturing it immediately, you have it and you can always go back and go, oh yeah, because a lot of the stuff I go back and look at and go, wow, I totally forgot about that. 2 days ago. I don't remember what this is about now, but I love it. Yeah, we'll see. The planner will arrive about August. So yeah, I'm gonna look at that. It's called the Unplanner. I have to remember that. Seamus says, I feel like I have two brains, one that is distractible and the other that wants to focus. Need to distract the one with music to let the other. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Seamus. I need to make a video about that. 'Cause it is like we have two brains. It's like they're all, but for me, it's like it's either focusing or distracting, like one of those two. But if I put the earbud in and I'm distracting it, it's allowing it to focus at the same time. So if you see any pictures of me or any like on Instagram or even YouTube, I do shorts and stuff like that. You'll usually see a thing flashing in my ear. It's like a little black thing, and if I'm not listening to YouTube or whatever with it, it flashes, a little light on it. That's when that is. But yeah, I've got it in literally when I get up in the morning, as soon as I wake up, my alarm goes off on my watch. I turn over, pick up my earbud and put it in and open my phone and start playing something to immediately keep it from going off the rails. I don't have to do it as much now because now that I'm doing takes to meds and backs to beds, when I get up, my medication is always already kicked in. It's not as my brain's not as chaotic. But before I started doing that, when as soon as I got up in the morning, my brain was already off and worrying about something. And so I started doing the earbud thing. And it worked. Actually, no, I did that CBD oil started taking care of that in October 2019, but it still with medication and oil and stuff, my brain's still bonkers, but it just became a habit to keep that thing in and keeps it under control. And the weird part is that a lot of times I have it in, I don't even have anything playing. No music, no YouTube videos, nothing is going on. And but it's like my brain's like, oh, that thing's in his ear. We can't be crazy now. Seems to work. At least for me. Scrolling down, okay, scroll up now. Ugh. Oh, what else is going on in here? Okay, there it is. My computer scrolling all sorts of weird. Do you guys like my new setup? You can't tell that it's new, but it is. I talked about it earlier before anybody showed up. I changed my YouTube video setup. Usually when I have it set up now, I just did for live stream, which is I have my iPhone 10R hooked to my MacBook using a cord, and then I use this app called Camo, which allows me to control the ISO and the brightness and all the little tweaky things. But then I took my standing desk that I usually use just for live streams, and it has a ring light. If I look this way, you can see it in my glasses right there. That's my key light. And above me, you can't see this one, is a hair light. And then my other lights are hooked to my chair. And the best part is the hair light and the key light are connected to the desk with pipe. Like I can take them off immediately if I want to, but my desk is also on caster wheels. I can roll it all over the place. And I was like, I can go anywhere now and do my YouTube videos. And I just ended up literally, usually I face this way when I do my videos and look out the door. I just turned it sideways, and now I'm facing I call the black void, which is it's like a little enclave, I guess. There's a closet there, but I painted all the walls black. So when I'm looking into my camera, it's just nothing. Like it just looks like a black nothingness. But I like how with my phone, I started to realize that with my camera that I use to make my videos, the quality from my phone connected to this app is better than the camera. Like the quality better than on my Sony A6000, which is I love that camera. But I also found out that when I sit down in front of a camera, I just can't seem to be able to get my brain to work right for some reason. But I can sit down here in front of my phone and just churn out stuff talking, and my brain seems to work. So it's like a whole weird mental mind game. My brain sees the camera is like, oh, freeze up. But use my phone as the camera. And my brain's like, that's cool. So I spent all day yesterday setting up and tweaking my already preset studio stuff so I could just sit here at my desk and do videos. Nobody's going to notice since my set doesn't look like it changed at all. But I like it. It's now I just have to figure out how I'm going to spin around in the beginning, because all my other videos that I've made in the beginning, I spin around real fast. And that's definitely not sped up at all to make it look like I'm spinning around at 90,000 miles an hour. But yeah, I got to figure out a way I'm going to spin around now, because I still want to keep doing that. I need a big, tall bar stool table that spins, I guess, whatever they're called. Pyromaniac Pirate, hello! Welcome to the live streamage that was supposed to be at 9:30 and then 10:30 and then had to be redid. Very minimalistic design yet. What's funny is I started wanting to do a YouTube channel 7 years ago. Put it this way, I started planning my YouTube channel before the How to ADHD channel even existed. So I started doing it. It was just basically what How to ADHD ended up doing is exactly what mine looked like. The blue background. Actually, I had other colors also, but and a colored shirt that was like the same. Like it was the same aesthetics and style video that she did. But then when she did hers, I was like, well, I have to change mine. And luckily, I just over the years, I did another YouTube channel, and I had literally because of my ADHD and this weird OCD thingy that I got going on, um, I have set up YouTube studio spots in literally every single room in my house, including the bathroom, because I thought that'd just be kind of fun. Um, but then ended up, I had all stuff in the background and lights, just things, and I have to put pictures like in the community tab at some point on YouTube of my old studios and stuff. And after basically 7 years of piddling around and trying to figure out the perfect thing, I ended up doing this, which was the only thing I did and went, there's nothing in the background I can mess with, nothing I have to go, oh, that's out of balance with this one and whatever else. And I like it. Plus, I also realized that anytime I watch any video on an ADHD channel, if there's anything in the background, I'm always looking at it, like pictures and stuff. I'm like, what's back of there? What's in that? Like, I'm not listening to what's going on. So, figure if I remove everything from the background, nobody can be distracted and just have to focus on me, which I don't know why anybody would want to do that anyway. So, but yeah, at some point, I think I might start adding stuff just for fun. So I always thought it'd be a fun idea to just slowly start adding things in the background. Like one idea I have is getting stuff like tiki mugs or whatever, any little thing and spray painting it black, like the exact same color as the walls, and just putting them on shelves that are the exact same color of the walls, like one at a time throughout every video. So if you go and watch old videos and start going to the newer ones, you'll just slowly see it building up. I don't know. I'm weird like that. Oh, and Sam McGlynn, hey, I'm getting ready to start trying CBD Cubs oil, but yeah, CBD. Can you talk a bit about your results with it? My results, unbelievably incredible, and that was from day one. It changed my life, and I've mentioned this. I think in every live stream I've mentioned the CBD oil, but I'm never going to mention something if I don't firmly believe in it, and that's the one thing that made the massive impact on my life with CBD oil. And that was because I was going through things where I was getting like I have a minor depression, I guess. I've never been officially diagnosed with it, but my one psychiatrist said, like, I think you might have some depression because of you know, the way that I am. And so she put me on Lexapro, which I did not like. It was only like a couple of weeks, and I weaned myself back off of it. And then was talking to my chiropractor, Dr. Matt, who is the most amazing person on the face of the planet, and he's more into trying alternative things before going to medication, just because it's he wants what's best for your body. So he said, "Hey, maybe you should try the CBD oil. I'm here. People get good results." And he started actually keeping it in his office because people said it worked. So he started taking it and said he's seen some great results. So I decided to try it, which was weird because you see, when I see people on Facebook and all these other people, and CBD started becoming this really big thing back when I started taking it in October 2019, I was kind of like, I don't know about that because you see all these people selling it, and that's usually a sign I stay away. But he said, oh no, there's a ton of them out there. Try Ananda Hemp, Charlotte's Web, or there's another one I can't remember the name of. So I tried Ananda Hemp. What was in his office, left his office, took a drop or half a dropper full, um, got home, and um, I didn't feel any different, which I was told is like you don't feel like physically different. Like when you take medication, you can physically feel different. But I remember Dawn, my significant wonderful, said, you know, "What's it like being like, do you feel different or anything?" And I said, "No, it's, I started explaining to her what I didn't really feel anything, and I don't know if it's working or not, but I then in mid-sentence, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm thinking about what I'm saying instead of just rambling on like I usually do. I could like I was focusing on what I was saying." And I was like, "This is crazy. Like I've never done that before." Then it was like an hour later, I was standing at our breakfast table and I was watching football on TV and eating nacho chips, like the little crispy tortilla chips. And it was like when I first started CBD oil, it was like there was another person in my brain that was constantly asking me how I'm doing. It was like the self-awareness thing became really apparent. And it was there's like somebody going, "Hey, how you feeling? What do you?" And I remember standing there watching the football game and going, hearing that like, "Hey, how you feeling?" And I was like, "Good." It's like, what are you doing?" It's like eating chips and watching a football game. "What else are you thinking about?" I was like, "Nothing." "Oh my God. I'm thinking about nothing else." Like it was the first time in my entire life that I can ever recall doing something without thinking about anything else. Like I was focused on it. And it was at that point, I was like, this is crazy. Um, and then I started, taking it in the morning and then I was taking it throughout the day, but then I was taking it at night also. And I was sleeping so much better. Like I lay down to go to bed and I was able to go to bed. My mind wasn't racing. I wasn't worrying about things. And all those depressions all went away. All the constantly flustered about not being able to do things in the timely manner like I want to, that all went away. Um, Physically, my whole body feels better. It used to be like you get up in the morning, you're getting old like I am, and you sit up in bed and you're like, like your joints are stiff and your knees are stiff, and it's like, take it easy, get to the bathroom. And now I can sleep on the floor, and when my alarm goes up, I can pop right up and go. Like it's amazing how like all the aches and pains in my body have pretty much gone away. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And the stuff that I use is called Ananda Hemp. It's now called Ananda Professional. Um, it's a little bit, I guess, pricey compared to other brands that are out there, but the good stuff, the pure that's not doesn't have any synthetics or any other crud into it, are all going to be more expensive. And then Ananda Professional is made literally like an hour from my house. Like that's where everything is at. Um, and it's wild. I mean, I take full spectrum 2000, which has THC in it, but it doesn't get you high or make you feel weird. And I can't remember why, but my chiropractor's like, you might want the kind with THC in it because it does this. And he breaks it down into some medical jargon that I have no idea what he's talking about, but it's fascinating. Like when he's telling me, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. So, but there is broad spectrum, which doesn't have THC in it, but it's, yeah, and I know other people that have ADHD. There was a YouTube guy on YouTube who has a video about his ADHD, and it was just heartbreaking to see somebody just so down and out and just giving up on trying to make life better. And I told him about it, and he tried it, and he made a video and was like, "Holy cow, this changed everything!" Like so, just bonkersly awesome. So yeah, Insane McLean. The only type I've tried is Ananda Professional, and I know at one point before they changed their name, I had like I signed up for an affiliate thing, and then if people used like they would get a but now with the new updated site and stuff, I don't it's not there anymore. So I can't give any discount anything, I guess. But if you sign up for their mailing list is awesome because every so awesome they have every so awesome. This is how awesome the thing is that they do. Every so often they'll send out an email and they'll have like the buy one get one free. In my full spectrum 2000 is 179 US dollars. It used to be 249, but it's 179 and the bottle will last me probably 5 months for the amount I take. A bottle's supposed to last a month, but I make it last a while 'cause I don't take a whole ton of it. But yeah, the buy one get one free is just wonderful. Um, but yeah, it's it's the one thing, if people are like, if you could just take one thing for your ADHD, what would it be? It would be that. But with what I do creative wise, and I do like trying to do YouTube, and I do my freelance design, and I do a t-shirt thing also. If I didn't have a job like that where I need a job just to be kind of calm and do whatever, I just take CBD. But I like having that um kind of little touch of madness, I guess I would say. So I kind of take less CBD, and I still take Vyvanse because of without it, it's just hard. Let's see. Oh, I do have it. Hold on a minute. Oh, so yeah, so the brand would be, I don't know, Ananda Hemp, just because I trust it, and I think it's cool that you can scan the code on the bottle, and they'll tell you exactly when the oil was made, where the seeds came from, the like everything, and it's usually like handwritten, which is really cool. But yeah, it's a really small place, but it works. Pyromaniac Pirate says, I too have ADHD, but I like your color scheme. Wait, I like your color scheme better. Like, no offense to Hot ADHD, but the bright blue color is how she does her videos irritates me for some unknown reason. Feels cartoony. I think that's with Hot ADHD, um, the colors I think fit her personality, especially like when I started watching, when I subscribed to Hot ADHD, it was literally like 1 week, or like at the beginning of the month, it was that channel was not there, and then a couple weeks later, it was there, and I would say I was either subscriber 316 or 361. I can't remember. I just knew that there was a 3, then a 16 or 61. But it totally fit. Like, you watch those old videos, because she is a bubbly person, and the colors and everything, it totally fit what was going on. I mean, it's changed, it's evolved to what, drastically over the years, but that's just what happens. I think when I guess probably maybe not boredom of it having looked the same, or just I know when she moved a couple times or whatever, just changing things up a bit. Um, but yeah, I think the cartooniness, it's just how she is. Um, it fits her personality. So I think it's kind of like her true self, just being her. But yeah, with my colors originally, it was just like hers, except for I was a big fan of the tone on tone, which I kind of do now, like black against black. But it was like purple wall, and then my shirt, I would take the shirt to the fabric store and go through all the, like if it was a purple shirt, I'd go through all the purple fabric, find the one that was the closest to it, and then that would be me against that color. And then I'd find like a coffee mug that was the exact same color as that, or paint it so everything was in the video was the exact same color. Because I was a big fan of that type of same color everything, which I kind of do now. If you watch my I'm sure you guys have caught on, but my thumbnails in my YouTube videos are always the exact same color as the lighting in the video. Originally, it was going to be the lighting corresponded with a certain topic. It was going to be like health and happiness, and I forget a bunch of other stuff. But now it's just it still kind of does that. The Mimi's Mondays, which I haven't done in a while, is kind of like teal. There's some orange ones that were going to be like on my 2 cents, but right, I've just kind of got to the point now. I'm like, whatever color I'm feeling like doing is what I do. But it's all lights. That's all that it is. This room that I'm in is a basement bedroom that has 0 windows, which is awesome. Like when I shut the door, it's pitch black. I can like this, and I can't see my hands. But it was like this. We bought the house. It was blue. This room was a funky blue, and I painted it black matte paint. So everything but the ceiling, which I'm going to do at some point. And then all it is smart bulbs from Sylvania, and I think it's called Fight, FEIT, and I control them with my phone and my computer. So if I go back here, check this out. I can just open up my little thing here, and I will choose my light bulb, which is okay. I'm gonna go with hair, and watch this. I click, change, change, change. That's all it does. I can make them any color that I want um, by doing that. And then the same thing with the lights behind me. There's two of them. They're like spotlight bulbs, I guess you call them. And I just name them, and then I can just go in here and whichever one I click on, I can just I can change them. Oh, is he not going to change? There we go. But they're fun. I forget how much they are. I've got a ton of these things. I'm actually gonna make a video about smart bulbs. There's a ton of them out there. These are relatively inexpensive. The Sylvania and the Fight, I guess it's called. But you can literally control them with your phone, make them any color that you want. It's just awesome. I have them in here. The ceiling lights that I have in here are also the same type of bulbs. You can get them like in normal light bulbs, and then you can get them in spotlights. Now they're making Edison bulbs that can change color, which I'm definitely getting. They're like 20 bucks, but they're Edison bulbs. Those big, giant, old vintage ones, and you got the coils in it. You can make it change any color. Heck yes. My kitchen has them, 6 of them in the ceiling. Living room, behind my TV. Um, we have them in other rooms, but you can set them to go on and off whenever and make them any color. But for ADHD, they're awesome because I can, if I'm having a really stressful day, um, I can come down in my studio or even in my living room or kitchen and just turn them all to a soothing red or orange, blue, or whatever, and it calms you down. Um, it's just super cool to be able to make them literally any color. I know there's a brand called LifeX, like LIFX, and their colors are really bold, screaming. They're awesome. Expensive, but your range of colors, like with mine, they say you can make it any color, but it kind of bounces around. But with, I guess, with LifeX, you can literally just go on the color wheel or like there's just like a rainbow and just move it around and it'll change with those. It's really cool. You see, do you diffuse it or is it CBD? Do you diffuse it or is it like a rub? The CBD that I use in St. McLean is just straight up oil. It's drops. It's not flavored or anything. I just put in the evening. I put between 4 and 8 drops under my tongue, like an hour or so before I go to bed. And that's it. Um, Sometimes during the day, depending on how I feel, I might take a drop or two. But yeah, just under the tongue. It's weird smelling, kind of weird tasting, but it's strange because it's like first time I tried it, you go like, "That's a weird taste," but you don't go, "Ew." It's like your body somehow like immediately knows this is good for us. Like it's odd. Is your hair purple or is that a pyromaniac? Pyromaniac pirate wants to know if my hair is purple or is that light too? It's the light. I really wanted to dye my hair purple or blue. I don't know if anybody's seen Jack White lately, but he's got this super cool blue hair that I've always wanted. But yeah, it's just a light. And then I have my camera set up where or my phone connected to my laptop and using that I can control the ISO. And when I use the Sony one on all my other videos, the same thing. I'm able to use the ISO and stuff to make sure that it doesn't get the lights too crazy, bonkers. But yeah, it's neat because they're on just little metal. I might be able to turn this in so you can see it. Watch. See if I do this. Whoops, see it? This is metal pipe. And I just kind of pieced them together and made the oh, where'd I go here? And made it so it will connect to my desk. So no matter where I'm at, I can shoot videos, literally. So neat. I love my big desk. You see, did I ever mess with the light settings too much the first time I got them? Pyromaniac Pirate wants to know if I messed with my lights when I first got. I mess with my lights now. I get them like dialed in. I had my studio dialed in where when I came in to record a video, I just could look at my phone and open up the home app and type it's like Pink Studio or Pink Video, and I'd hit that, and it would turn all the lights in my studio to that color that I had set it up as. And then I sat down and went. But when I put this desk together, and I'm now using my phone, I kind of have to tweak them a little bit. But yeah, I messed with colors all the time. But now I've got them set up, like I said, in the Apple Home app or the Home Kit, where whenever I'm ready to shoot a video, I just hit the button and the ceiling lights toned down. Um, the spotlights go to their colors. The hair light goes to its color. It's usually they're all the exact same. Like all my videos, I kind of keep them um, all one color. But yesterday I was messing around and did like the half and half thing going on here, and I decided, you know what, maybe I'll do that just for fun. Start like doing it a little bit different. So that's why we're doing it this way, changing things up a bit. But yeah, it's funny how I spent so many years, doing all these crazy backgrounds, and you got to see all this stuff. Like I have giant letters I cut out of like foam insulation and painted black that said ADHD. That I put like lights behind them, so it's like a blue wall with these black letters. I had glows around them, and I had all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Um, but the original idea was to just do a colored background with you know all one color shirt and everything else, and then over the years, I did all this stuff and then basically came right back to where I'd started, but changed up a bit. And I've had it where I've had had a gray walls. I mess with it. Like gray walls will make these lights really go all the way out and fill the whole thing. Looks like the wall's painted. But with the black ones, I realized I'm able to control it a lot more and keep it tight or out. Just I can do whatever I want with it. So yeah, the lights are lots of fun. Not only can I change the color, like I said, it can make it if I want to change it up and go, you know what, it's getting a little nutty on one of the sides over here. You know, maybe the hairs. I can and turn it down, go up. I can control everything, which is fun because when you have colored walls, you can't really do that. You're kind of stuck with that color. So being in controls, it's fun. So yeah, if you're ever want to do a YouTube channel, it's amazing, like what you can do with 2 light bulbs, basically. I mean, my last studio setup, which every video I've done up until um, the next video that's coming out, was all done with the actually it was 3 light bulbs. Yeah, the one that's overhead, the one actually it's 2 behind me, one overhead, and one over here. And it was the one that was over here was it's called a mini twister by Sylvania. It's a CFL bulb that's like I forget how bright it is. It's pretty bright, and it's got a white balance thing of like 5500, and it's inside this paper pennant ball, which is literally like 28 inches wide. It's or 32 inches wide. It's huge, and I had it hanging from the ceiling, and that's what I used for my main light. And then I had a light above me and the ones behind me. But now I'm using my ring light, and same thing, one above me, the 2 behind me. But you can even use just one light bulb here, and then if you wanted to, you could even get rid of this. Oops. For some reason, nothing's listening to me now on my computer. There it goes. You can just start getting rid of stuff if you wanted to and get the same type of effect. Maybe not as intense, but yeah, if you have one light to your left, or you can put it in front of you. A lot of YouTubers will have lights coming from all over the place because it's that whole like make everything lit up. But I started watching videos like by photographers and stuff, and realized that you get more of a interesting shadows and stuff if you do what they call the Rembrandt technique, which is having a light that's angled and up like 45 degrees up from you, and then 45 degrees from just like from the camera or whatever. So it's basically up and over and angled down. So you get these weird shadows. I don't know. I don't like seeing myself on camera, so the less I can like distort it, the better. But I do like how it ends up looking. But yeah, so you can turn this overhead light off and get something cool. I don't know why this won't work here. Or just even just one light bulb. Then boom, you've got something. Yeah, I played around literally with every single thing you could possibly think of because that's the ADHD brain. And not only that, but it just seems like everybody knows that has ADHD that's done videos says that it's like a OCD type of thing also, where you just want everything to be perfect. And it's so hard to not make it perfect. Then once you get it happy and you think it's perfect, then your brain changes and you go, bleh, then you want to do something else. But with this, nothing for you, nothing for me to mess with. I love it. You see, pyromanic. I can't say your name. Why can I say that? You know what it is? I'm tired because I had the worst night last night, and I think I'm just so tired. My brain's just not working. To make a long story short, I felt like I had the 24-hour flu over a span of 45 minutes. Every symptom you could imagine, just boom, hit, done. Weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. I'm talking laying on the bathroom floor, sweating, and thinking about calling the ambulance to feeling perfectly fine 2 seconds later. Weirdest thing ever. Pyromanic pirate. Just call me pirate. Okay. I can probably say pirate. Okay, let's see. You experience meltdowns or have you ever developed tolerance to some dosages? Um, Meltdowns, ADHD meltdowns before medication, yes. Um, just frustration and anger, anger that I didn't take out on people ever. I never like yelled at people, like somebody didn't make me mad. I just want to, random people get angry at them, but I'd get more angry at myself. That kind of meltdowns. I'm just frustrated and constantly angry. Did I get used to the dosages? I started out low on Vyvanse and eventually just creeped all the way up to where I'm at now, which is the full blown Vyvanse. But if I take all 70 milligrams at once, I get anxious and feel like I have to do everything. So now I split my Vyvanse, which I've done videos about, and it cut down on that. I just take Vyvanse throughout the entire day, literally, and it's more smooth. But once I started doing CBD oil, it completely cut out any of those anger issues, any of those depression issues. Um, to the point now, it's like I think like, "Does CBD's really help me that much?" And then Dawn, my significant wonderful, is always like, "Oh, yeah, you're a totally different person than you were before." Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely incredible stuff. So, like, I can't suggest it enough. I wish I could find my little affiliate thing. I mean, not it's kinda cool because if you become an affiliate with some companies, you get if you buy something like when you guys would buy something, you get some money for it, but it also they usually give, like, discounts and stuff, but they said they changed it, so I don't know what it is. But sign up for the, like, Ananda newsletter, um, and they'll send stuff out, or follow them on Instagram, and they'll put when they do their buy one, get one free thing, it's the best time to jump on 'cause, that's usually what happens. It seems like I always get those things they always pop up, like, right when I'm running out, which it's always super convenient. Yeah. I'll make a full video about CBD oil, um, 'cause it is one of those things where people, when they hear about it, they immediately think like, "Oh, I don't wanna do that because that's like drugs," but it's not like that. You don't get high. I purposely taken like, almost a whole dropper. I kept inching it up just to see, how it affected me, and I didn't take my, Vyvanse either. I just kinda seen how it does, and it just doesn't you just don't care. It's interesting, like, you care, but it's like, you're like, "Oh, I can't believe I forgot to put this thing on my list. I guess I'll do that now." Like, it's very interesting, the mentality, and like I said the physical part is one of the greatest things ever. I love it. You should get affiliate for your shoes. I do have an affiliate for my shoes. You must have seen them. I love my shoes. Everybody loves my shoes. People are like, "Where did you get those?" And then eventually I just signed up for like one of their affiliate things, and they're like, "Yeah, well, we give discounts and stuff." And but yeah, Zero shoes, absolutely love them. They're minimalist. Um, I'm always wearing them all the time. I used to be a big fan of like running shoes, and I did some running, and then I hurt myself, and then I became a barefoot runner, blah blah blah, and then I found like Zero shoes, which are very minimalist, and now I can't even wear normal running shoes anymore, or any type of shoes that are elevated in any way. Here, I'm wearing my Zero shoes right now, the ones that people love. Oh, sorry. Boom, there they are. Ready? Ready for this? That's them. They're like floppy slippers, and I've had these since December last year. I wear them all the time. Um, they're super. I always feel like I'm like a salesperson for them, but that's how much I love them. They're like wearing like nothing with little rubber soles, and the soles are literally these right here. I think are 4 millimeter, and there's an insole, but I take the insoles out, and they're super lightweight, and they have a here's the sales pitch, the stuff that I don't even care about just because I love my little shoes. The soles have 5,000-mile warranties, so if you wear through them before the 5,000 miles, they'll replace the sole for free or something like that. They do something, but yeah, it's just anything that I become like an affiliate with, or you see like a link in my descriptions, um, those are things that I love. I will never ever push or talk about anything that I do not personally use and I do not personally love. At some point, that might change because I think I can't wait to get like a brand deal from something that's not ADHD related that I will like if I don't try it and use it, I'm never gonna talk about it. But I'm always looking for I hope I get a brand deal from something that is so unrelated ADHD related that I use and it helps me out that I can somehow tie into ADHD and put into a video because that creative aspect of that I think would be so much fun. Because I love taking things and making like an ad for it. Does that make any sense? But not making it seem like an ad. I did a video a while back on ADHD memes on a Memes Monday where I threw in a plug from my shirt shop and tied it into the whole memes thing. And I think most people didn't catch on what was going on until like halfway through the little part. So it's always fun. Yes, they do look like Skechers. They look like the old school Skechers. These are called the what are these called? Speed Force. Man, they're just like silky smooth socks. They're super thin, like air goes right through them. I love them. But they have other shoes. I have a pair, I think called the Prios, which are a little bit thicker. They make all kinds of shoes, but these are like these super minimal ones, and I can't wear anything but these. And people are like, well, what do your shoes have to do with ADHD and stuff like that? Less pain. Um, when you're wearing shoes that are up like this, that's not normal for your body. Like once you start wearing minimalist shoes and go back to any other shoe, your knees will hurt because you realize you're like standing all weird. Like your body's not meant to stand all goofy like that. Um, and minimalist shoes have made those like weird pains and back issues go away. So the less pain that I have, um, the better my brain is because I know that if I have any type of pain or discomfort, my brain focuses on that and that's it. Like right now, my throat's a little sore, and now my brain will just be like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" Like, and that causes me issues. So anytime I have aches and pains, it always makes everything else in my life more difficult. So going minimalist, not having those knee pains, hip pains, back pains like that anymore is wonderful. Insane McLean, I hate shoestrings. So do I. Oh, I don't have them in these though. I use lock laces in all my shoes, except for these. And the only reason I don't have them in these is because I never got them for them, and I just completely leave these super loose. But lock laces are nice because they're like shoelaces, but they don't tie. There's like a little clasp, and they're elastic, so you just slide them on and slide them off, and they hold them on your foot perfectly, nice and not snug like hard, but just I mean you can tighten them up. But I just put them so it just holds on to my foot, nice and snug, just enough where it doesn't give you the hurt across the top of your foot that can happen with shoestrings. But with these shoes, I just keep them untied. They're just awesome. Yeah, I can't suggest those enough. And also there's ones like Vivo Barefoot. There's a ton of like really minimalist shoes out there. They're always expensive, but a lot of them they're made in small batches. That's why. They're not made like Nike in huge factories. They're made little batches. But yeah, that's if you ever have like back pains and knee pains, you go into the minimalist thing. It's kind of crazy what happens in your body can balance itself. And I could go on and on and on about that stuff. That's barefoot running and stuff like that changed my life. Talked about that before. That's what got me to the minimalist shoe thing. But yeah, barefoot running, that's an ADHD brain spectacular. I should make a video about that at some point too. It's pretty crazy. What else? Let me check my little list of stuff to talk about. I don't even know what that was. I talked earlier about was talked earlier about productivity, probably before anybody signed on here. I talked about the Forest app. I don't know if anybody used Forest, the one with the trees on it. It's kind of like a Pomodoro type of app, and a app to keep you from messing around with your phone. And you set it for however many minutes and hit start, and that screen pops up. And if you swipe out of that screen to go to another app or whatever, your tree dies. And every time you make it through, then your tree lives and it gets planted in your little forest. And for some reason, if a tree dies, I can't handle it. It makes me so sad. It's weird how a little app with planting trees has made me stick to not picking up my phone as much, not getting distracted. Once I pick it up and start doing stuff, I bounce from thing to thing, and then I've wasted like a half hour. Then I'm like, what happened? I've been piddling around on my phone. I just keep planting trees, and then I don't do that. I also talked about focus modes on the iPhone. So if you go back and rewatch the replay of this, you'll hear me talking about that. But yeah, the Forest app ain't no joke, as it says in my notes. What else have I been doing? Just focus. You see, this whole live stream was going to be about organization and kind of like productivity, but kind of strayed away from that. I talked about it earlier. So like I said, it's being the replay. What else? Oh, I don't know if you guys are like me, but if I sit and I work too long at my computer, like I'll sit down at my computer and I will not get up for hours. I just lock in on things and I go, and it's not good. I use a standing desk, but I also have a regular desk. So, try to alternate and do whatever. But um, if I don't get up at least once every hour, that's bad. So I try to get up at least once every half hour. I use a Pomodoro technique, but I don't at the same time. But if you're on use a computer a lot, a computer. I've got a computer. There are apps out there. I'm sure they're on Windows also. I know I've seen videos where people talk about them, but I'm on a Mac and I use this app called Just Focus and an app called Timeout. I bounce back and forth between those, but they force you to take breaks. Timeout does an especially good job because it will lock you out of your computer for 5 minutes, whatever you set it as, and you can't get back into it. So it makes you take a break. But as I was saying earlier, if I sit for a long time, I feel like my brain goes dumber and dumber and dumber. As if like I talk to my chiropractor, it's like your back is a whatever, you got information and nerves going up and down your entire spine to your brain, throughout your body, and if you're sitting in like a weird way, you're blocking a lot of that and all the medical stuff that he talks about that I don't know what he's talking about, but it's always fascinating. But I do know that if I sit for too long, I can't. I get cranky and my brain doesn't want to work as much. So I force myself to take these breaks using these apps. So like I said, if you find yourself sitting around too much and work on a computer and hours go by and then you get up and you're like, oh, I'm just cranky. I didn't get up earlier. Check out any app that is like a timer app that will force you to take a break. So Just Focus will just make my screen go black and it'll say take a break and it starts counting down, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is that you're supposed to get up and move around. Or the timeout app, which is when it locks you out, it's like, sorry, and you can't get it back into it. It's highly effective. I'm a big fan of apps that are frustratingly effective. That app, and there's a app that I use as my alarm clock called Sleep as Android, and I tried Android for 2 years, and wasn't a good idea. But the good thing that came out of it is the app Sleep as Android, which is will make you get out of bed, and it will not stop getting you up and out of bed until you do certain things. Highly effective. Annoying at first, but now it's just highly effective. What's the tree app called? Pyromaniac Pirates. Told you, I can't say it. So the reason I keep repeating your names when I say this is people watching the live stream replay, if they're not watching the chat go through, they'll know I'm answering somebody's question. So I try to say your name, then read your thing. Boom, boom. But Pyromaniac Pirate says, what's the tree app called? Forest. And it's really cool. It's a paid app, but totally worth it. And then plus it's neat is like the more trees that you plant in your little forest, you can then buy more little trees with the points that you build up. And then at some point you can actually buy a real tree that they'll plant somewhere. Like, and you can go on their website and they'll show photos. I think they're in the developer team that does it is in China. It's like 4 or 5 people, and they're in all their little pictures. It's like college kids, what they look like. But yeah, they go out and they show you. They'll be with a little banner and they'll show you where they're this area, their little picture there where the trees are planted. It's really neat, but it is super effective. When I started using it, it's bizarre. Like you go swipe and do something with your phone, and you're like, oh, like because my screen goes black. Then I go to swipe it up, and then there it is, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to wait to check out the weather because I don't want to kill my tree. I wish I had it for the like for computers. I think that'd be kind of cool to I don't know how they would do that, but it'd be interesting for them to do like a Pomodoro app or something like that. So when the break goes off, you kill your tree or whatever. Who knows? But yeah, let's talk about other ADHD. Anybody have suggestions for ADHD apps that you use that are super helpful with your ADHD? I mean, they can be like task apps or apps that help you sleep, apps that are just, I don't know, something that makes your life a lot easier. Like I have a ton of them. I mentioned a bunch earlier. Um, things three, Evernote. So everybody should have a task manager. Everybody should have a digital notebook. Everybody should have um, an alarm clock app that makes them get up, forces them to get up, and a some app that is. I like using an app called binaural. You have to use with both headphones. It has binaural beats, and I don't know. It can do some cool things to your head. I love it. See, Pirate says that all my planner apps, no matter how many alarms, I just ignore. I sometimes do that, but I find out I do it and I don't realize that I do it. But I found out with my earbud, like since I always have it in, when you have an alarm going off in your ear, you can't miss it. Just because if it's on my phone and my phone's sitting away from me, it might go off and I don't care. But it's in my ear, it goes off. And also goes off on my watch. So I don't know if anybody has like an Apple Watch. But this thing is super awesome for fitness and all sorts of that. The thing I didn't know that I wanted, then I got that I didn't know that I needed big time. So I highly suggest stuff like that. Any tech thing can help you out, I'm all for. I keep thinking about like people like, well, smartphones and stuff, that's terrible for ADHD and stuff. Like, no, it's amazing. For tech and stuff, it was a lot harder. What else are we talking about? Earlier, I was talking about the full moon and how it jacks with my brain. And I don't know if anybody else has problems with full moons, but I got to the point where I now have to put every full moon into my calendar, so I am alerted 2 days before it happens that I know that the weirdness is about to begin. Because I get foggy brained, confused easily. I don't know what the deal is with it, but man, full moons, they mess with me. I have the sleep chart to prove it. I talked about it earlier where my sleep cycle chart will show your sleep during moon phases, and it just kind of goes full moon, drop, back up, and full moon, drop. So it is very bizarre. The only tech that helped me, Pirate says the only tech that helped me was Duolingo for told you I can't talk, for learning languages. It was because I was weirdly addicted to it. Yeah, I know people use Duolingo a lot. I had it for a while. I don't know why I don't have it anymore. Probably because I kept messing with it. That might be what it is. There are apps like that it's they're highly addictive. But I did find on my phone the Apple focus modes. I've been setting those things up are really good for helping me not mess with apps anymore. So you see them on your phone on the home screen, you're like, oh, there's that, and you'll piddle with it. But I can set it up where those apps are not on my phone when I set on that focus mode, and I'm not wasting as much time anymore. But yeah, I can see how it can get addicted. The only thing I'm addicted to, and I go in these little phases, is called word. Oh, Wordscapes, I think it is. It's like little puzzles, and you got to guess. They give you letters. You got to get. It's kind of not. It's not Wordle at all. But it's kind of like a crossword thing. They give you letters. You got to figure out what all the put them in there. I don't know. I played it every single day. Like, they have a daily every single day since I got it, which was like 3 years ago. Every once in a while, I'll just get on there and play and play and play. It's just fun. I don't know. That's probably the one app that if I get on waste time, that's what it's going to be. Is that one, and Instagram, which is why I always say that I was once told that whenever you do YouTube, to choose two, whatever you're doing. So if it's YouTube, and then one more. Mine was YouTube and Instagram, because anything else you start doing Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff, which people say, like, do you have a Facebook page for your channel? No, never will, because why would I put a page for ADHD on the most distracting website on the internet? So no. So I have Instagram, and I'm going to do a Discord once I start Patreon, which I think Patreon will be just kind of fun. There's Pirate, basically CrossFit. It's kind of like crosswords, but they don't give you hints or anything. They just give you like 6 or 7 letters, and then they just have like, it looks like a crossword the way that all the stuff is connected, and then you start putting the letters and trying to figure out what making words and stuff, but they don't give you any hints. And same McLean, I'm still here listening, getting ready to drive. I drive a truck, a car, a bike, go-kart. Oh, that'd be sweet. Remember when go-karts were a big thing? And I'm so old, I can remember where like they were like every neighborhood had like 3 go-karts, and every neighborhood had a big wheel gang. I don't know if you ever lived like in a suburb area where you had a big wheel gang. Coolest thing ever. You'd be hanging out in your house, and all of a sudden you just hear this like slowly approaching down the road, and you'd look out, and it'd be like 12 kids on the big wheels, the little plastic big wheels, like just rolling down the road. Man, that was awesome. I'm an old dude. I could remember like 70s and 80s, the big wheel gangs. And I found out that there was a company who makes a big kid big wheel. I haven't been able to find it on the internet, but there's somewhere you can buy that. They make basically the little kid big wheels for adults. Oh my gosh, if I had one of those, I would never be in the house. I'd be rolling up and down the street looking for a big wheel gang to join. Hey, you. It's my That Chapter mug. And I can't believe what's his name's not here. I told you my brain is not. I'm hyper focused from Instagram. He's always on my live streams. I do have my shag mug. I keep it out just for him when he's here. I do realize if you're not from America, if you're from like what I just said, you're going, oh my gosh, what did he just say? It's the artist's name is I forgot his name now. Sean Aggle. Is that it? Sean Aggle? I can't remember. Can't remember. I told you my mouth isn't working today. But it's his initials, SHAG, Shag. What else in my little ADHD list of stuff to talk about? Oh boy. My to-do list. I don't know why that's in there. ADHD struggles. There's all this stuff I talked earlier. Oh, my 1-year YouTube anniversary is coming up in 2 weeks. That's kind of neat. It doesn't seem like it's been a year, probably because I haven't made as many videos as I wanted to. But yeah, March 28th, when all the weirdness started. What else to talk about? US Camera Pro. Oh yeah, yes, US Camera Pro. US Camera Pro is this is a plug for a company. That's where I got my camera from. My Sony and my big lens and my ring light, which is in there. It is, my lights. I did their logo for them, and I said, you don't need to pay me because it's my sister and her husband, their little company thing. And they said, well, what's your address? And I gave my address, and then a couple weeks later, I got this camera, sweet camera, and a ring light. And I said, well, I'm going to talk about you guys. Put you in my descriptions and stuff, and I need to talk about you guys. But yeah, US Camera Pro. If you like photography stuff and cameras, especially like old stuff, they like buy and sell camera stuff. Super cool people. I'm not just saying it because it's my sister and like her husband, that they are just great people. And they'll find stuff for you, I guess. They're always going to these camera shows and going all. It's neat. I don't know. I like going on there and looking at all the cool old cameras that, expand, and if you're into photography, they got neat stuff. Let me see what's going on here. Get ready. Pirate says, "How much money have you wasted impulsively buying stuff?" I don't know. What's weird is I'm not a person who is very materialistic. Like I don't um when I go out and buy stuff at random, it's never big stuff. It's always weird stuff. Like I got obsessed with buying lights, colored lights. It does seem like every week I was buying more and more to put around the house, but it was also because of um just making every room be able to change colors to help my mood out. Um I rarely buy anything, but when I do, it's a long drawn out process. Um, like right now, I'm in the process. Well, needed to buy a computer, and it was like probably like a year before I did it, because it just takes me forever to decide what I want to get. Um, I need a new phone, so that's been my latest thing. So I don't buy a lot of stuff, but every time I buy something, it seems like it's always a big thing. But yeah, luckily I don't do the impulse buying stuff. I've gotten into the habit of if I try to get in that mode, I'm like, no, stop. Do you need this? No, you don't. But sometimes buying stuff just makes you feel better. So I'll buy, like I said, weird things. I got in actually I changed that. Last 2 weeks ago, I bought a Mac uh, a laptop stand, a iPad stand, and a phone stand, and they're metal. I usually have them down here, but I don't have them with me. But you can like set your phone and your iPad on it, and they like adjust up and down, and they're like aluminum. And there's one under my computer here. Um, but it is so interesting, like to keep them off the table, and I could angle them up. But they end up being like another one of those things that I didn't know that I wanted or needed. That I ended up buying just because I thought it was neat. But yeah, being able to have your iPad up and phone off the thing and not to pick it up and just be able to touch it and do things, I love it. Yeah, I think in the past I probably did waste a bunch of money impulse buying stuff, but yeah, I try not to. I try to keep myself occupied with other weird stuff. Yeah. Pirate says sales tend to be my worst enemy. Impulse buying. I don't know why. I just need. Yeah, it's funny. I think that a lot of people are like that. Like, well, it's on sale. It's like, yeah, but that got to get it now. No, especially books. Oh yeah, book people that are into books, man. Those people are on a whole nother level of impulse buying. But I think with book people that they read. But I think also with books are things that are cool, even if you don't read them. Like if you see, there's a YouTube channel. I can't remember the girl's name, Abby something. I don't know, but I remember her. I stumbled across her channel. It was like in a suggested thing, but her background was books, but they were color organized, like rainbow colored. That was so cool. I've seen channels like where the entire wall is just books. That's cool. That's like decorating. I thought about doing that. Just completely doing a wall of the same color book. An hour and 48 minutes. It was better last time. Usually it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I don't know. This is but I told you I cannot talk. What's my deal? I started doing live streams mainly just to get myself comfortable on camera. So hopefully I'd start doing more videos. But then I ended up finding out that just talking to people and chatting ended up being incredibly therapeutic. Like therapy for me. I don't know why. When I get done, I leave, go upstairs, I physically feel buzzy and positive. Pretty cool. See, people always tell me that you can get them online for free and stuff, but they don't understand the beauty of a collection. Yeah. It's neat. I used to go to auctions a lot to get stuff to sell on eBay. I sold all kinds of stuff on eBay, but I started selling like old stuff that I got at auctions, like in lots, like boxes full of just crud. And every once in a while, they had these book auctions, and people would buy literally like throughout the auction, they would be the more popular stuff would get taken, but then they would literally have like a shelves of books, and they were just trying to get rid of them. So people were paying like $10 for hundreds of books. And I always thought like I should do that sometime, just make a wall of books. Never did. I just stuck with postcards and photos, which by the way, if anybody wants to make a little extra money, old photographs and postcards. You can find them on eBay in photo albums, and you find them at auctions. You can sell them on eBay, and you'll be amazed at what people buy. Same as, yeah, streaming rules. It is fun. It's fun when it works. Like when, you plan for the whole week, like, yay, and then it doesn't work, then it's not fun. It's not fun then. But yeah, streaming is very interesting because for me, I'm outside of things. I'm not like, if I'm around people, I'm pretty quiet and shy. But well, unless you put me on a stage. I just talked with somebody on Instagram about this today, that you put me on stage when I did stand-up comedy and stuff. I'm a whole nother person. I'm like this, which isn't like me, but I guess it is me at the same time. But yeah, streaming's just a good way to get comfortable on camera, because when you're live streaming, if you just kind of sit around being boring, no fun for people that are watching. Even me rambling is probably no fun for people that are watching. But yeah, mainly just to kind of get comfortable with it. And then plus it's a good way where I can get people can come to and ask questions in real time. Like I see comments and like to respond to comments. And I'm doing videos where I'm going to be answering people's comments in like a video form. But live streams are just fun for people to come in and go, hey, what about this? I'm having trouble with this, and I can answer it. Like right now, it's there's not a lot of people here because my channel is not that big. I did just hit 750 subscribers, which I got a new little badge from TubeBuddy, the little picture, which is the most exciting part for me for some reason. But down the road, hopefully the channel will grow and there'll be a lot more people that can come and ask questions. But I still love that just a few people show up, because it's a lot easier to handle when there's just a handful of people than there is like with the How to ADHD's channel live streams, where there's tons of people all wanting to get in there and say their thing or have their question asked. That's a lot. That's stressful. Congrats, thank you. Yeah, it's weird that it's like people, they think about it and you go like 750 that compared in YouTube numbers, that's not that big. But then somebody pointed out and said, yeah, but if 750 people just showed up to your house, like if you were someone, there was 750 people there to see you, that's a lot of people. Like think of it like that. It's like that is pretty cool. At the same time, it's I think it's neat that my subscribers, I told you last night was so bad I can't talk. Subscriber rates, they go up and down, up and down, and up and down. But mine have just slowly, I don't lose subscribers very much, which is cool. So it's slowly gone up, but it hasn't gone up drastically and dropped and drastically and dropped. So I like it. Yeah, I'll need more mod before too long. Yeah, I will need a mod, I think, at some point, which is weird to say because I'm one of the people when anybody does anything or I do anything, I'm always like, I'm not going to be good at this. But when I think of YouTube and down the road, it's the only thing I've ever really done that I've gone, someday this will be way bigger than it is now. And today is the day, these days like this are the days I'm going to wish it was like, down the road. Like have people be like, I don't know why you don't have 100,000 subscribers. Like, well, one, I just started it not too long ago. I don't put videos out that much. I'm going to try to start doing that more. But it is kind of interesting, no matter how, if I try to tell myself like this is not going to grow, that something's like, it's going to happen. So I guess that's good. See, Pirate says the internet dulls our perception of size, since a lot of people seem to have millions of followers, but when you think about it, even 100 people is like, exactly. Yeah, it is. I think a lot of people though, when you get 100, then they want more. Everybody thinks that that's the big thing. Like, the more people, the better. The more people, the better. The more I got to grow the channel huge. Where for me, it's not the subscribers, it's the people. Like I know channels that have, 5,000 subscribers, but then you go into their videos and look, and they've got a couple comments and a couple people who like the video, which I don't put emphasis on likes or anything, but to me, it shows that maybe they're people, they're not as engaged or they're not watching. Where my videos I don't have a lot of subscribers. My videos might not have a lot of views, but they get a lot of likes and they get a lot of comments. That's more important to me. I'd rather have 100 comments and 2 likes than 100 likes and 2 comments, that type of thing. And I'd rather have 100 comments and 700 subscribers than a few comments and 10,000 subscribers. So it's I don't know, but I do want to get to 1,000 subscribers just because once I do that, I can start linking my shirts into um, my YouTube videos into the bot. I don't know why. That's fun. And um, I just realized I was like, then I can do super chats, and then I just realized I can already do that to people. But I guess people can super chat on my channel once you hit 1,000. I'm an idiot. I've super chats on people's live streams before already. I don't know why I thought that when I hit 1,000, then I get to start doing that. No, then people can do it to my live streams at that point. I'm a big fan of the super chat with people. If you've ever been on a live stream and there's a whole bunch of people in it, there's a little button down next to like where you type in your comments, whatever, and it has like a dollar sign or something. If you hit that, you can then give them money, and then you get a highlighted thing, and they'll notice it more. So if you're ever on a live stream and you have a question that you want answered, throw a couple of dollars in there or whatever, and they'll see it. Or it's a great way of telling that, YouTuber like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. Here's some money. Because believe it or not, people think the YouTube is super easy and something, but it's amazing how much time goes into doing just a single video. You know how much time that you depending on where you're at. Like if like me, who have like my design job and have shirt job, like I have so many other things going on. Um, but still, like one video is the writing and the filming and then the editing. It's a lot, but it's fun. That's why we do it. But still, if I was making money doing it, like that's one reason I want to do a Patreon. Is that's to me the big motivator for me. Is once you have people like going on Patreon and going and every month giving you a couple dollars, that to me is I guess like that dopamine hit. And I'll just start pounding out videos at that point. Ones that go on the channel and then ones that go to just Patreon, which I think is super cool. When I don't know if you guys are like Patreon members of YouTube creators, but some of them do it great. Like that chapter, as I'm always talking about, there he is. I'm a Patreon member there, and then he releases videos to the Patreon members that like a day or two before they actually get posted to YouTube. So that's kind of fun. Sometimes he'll do videos that are don't go on YouTube, but just go to the Patreon members, get discounts. I don't know. That type of thing's fun for me. So I think it's kind of like the secret society type of like a secret little club of people who support a creator. I love it. I love it. Actually, I even came up with my name for my Patreon a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what it is now. I do remember what it is. I can't remember how I worded it. Go ADHD Go a Go Go. That's what it was. Because it's kind of like ADHD is kind of like a go-go dancer. It's crazy, sparkly, always going, and fun and interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna do a Patreon when I get to like 1,000 subscribers, which I can do at any time I want. But I don't know. I think it's my brain going. But once you do Patreon, you have to start, you know, doing more like figure out what you're gonna do on there. So let's just hold off. Like people say, I'm like Pirate says, like people say, I'm a small channel, just 10,000K and stuff, but like 10,000 people, it is a lot. That's a lot of people. You have 10,000. I haven't checked out your channel because I can't click out of my phone's right there, and I left my iPad upstairs. And I'm afraid if I switch over on my YouTube thing, it's going to go bunk me out of here, which it shouldn't. But I will check it out as soon as I get done here. But yeah, 10,000. That's awesome. I was just gonna say something, and my brain quit working. I'm telling you, last night, if you weren't here earlier, it was I told people I basically had what felt like a 24-hour flu, every symptom in a span of 45 minutes at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. I've never been to the point where I almost called the ambulance. And then it was gone. Insane. Insane. You see, Samus says people don't know how much work goes into it, especially when the videos go well. Better work. Better. I can't talk. Told you. I think the sickness is still in my brain. Better work is less visible. Um, yeah, it is weird how people some YouTubers don't put a lot of work into stuff, but it's just how their videos are. They're, like, short or they're just kind of winging it and having fun and doing their thing. But, which I could do, like, I have ideas for videos that are just on a channel that, I've always wanted to start and I never did. I haven't started it yet. It's set up and everything, I just never done videos for it, called Ultra Balderdashery, which are just weird videos, ideas, and crazy stuff. But, um, I'll do that at some point, but this is, like, the whole ADHD thing is what my life is. So, wanting to help other people became more of a thing than doing crazy videos. But once this thing gets rolling and I'm super comfortable with it and I'm able to make some money at it and people are buying my shirts and I keep getting that inspiration going and that, you know, I don't know why, but that's just how my brain is. Um, I'll start up those other channels and then I'll just probably someday I just hope to be doing YouTube like all the time just because it's fun. You see, people don't know how much work goes. Like, we did that one. You didn't forget it. It just wasn't important to you. Said every person with ADHD. Exactly. I always tell people, pirate that they always say like, "Well, I get all these things that I want to do, then I never do them." And I always say, "You haven't done them yet." I always start something I never finished. You haven't finished it yet. There's no timeline. You know, I started my channel in 2017. I didn't start or seven. All right, 17. No, 7 years ago, and I didn't put my first video on until 2021. So I kept getting discouraged. Like I'm never going to do this. I started as I never finished it, but I just kept telling myself, you just haven't done it yet. When it'll happen, it'll happen. That's it. Boom. Off and running. See, Bird, you don't have 10,000 followers. Oh, but that's okay. Like I said, it's I have to check out your channel. It's funny, is like every time I get a subscriber and it pops up or somebody comments, I always go to check out, see if they have a channel. It's amazing, like how many people don't have a channel. I guess when you make YouTube videos, you just assume everybody does. But what I have noticed is that people that do have a channel always seem to have a cool channel. Like somebody just subscribed yesterday that was on the Brian Johnson live stream, and she had a super cool name. I can't remember it. Um, but her channel is she's playing like these cool, it's like a steel drum thing. It's really relaxing. And I subscribe to that because it's just you listen to that stuff and it's just like it makes my brain happy. But it's always like cool stuff. A lot of people who like sing. There's a girl who sings that just incredible. Um, but yeah, it's just always weird to me when I go to them like, "Where's your videos? Don't have a channel? What? Why?" Oh, I just saw somebody say hi. Madeline Ann Taylor. Hello, Madeline. I recognize the name. I can't tell the avatar. Did your avatar or whatever your profile picture did it change? I know most people buy their little picture and then they change it. And I'm like, who's that person? It has the exact same name as that other person who had the different picture. Checkbooks. I had food poisoning just a few days ago. Not the worst, but damn, in and out consciousness for 2 days. I thought I might have food poisoning, um, but I think sometimes I'm a big fan of this wing sauce. Like it's like a hot wing sauce, and I put it on. Believe me, I make this salad of it's just like chicken breast, like all chopped up, and cottage cheese and like hot sauce. And I think that sometimes it just irritates something in my stomach, my intestines, or something, and I have this weird reaction. But man, I was sweating like crazy and freezing at the same time and thought I was gonna pass out. Um, it was weird. And boop gone. Same as my videos are mostly unlisted. You should see all the unlisted videos that I have, especially when I was starting and I would do tests. I had 163 videos that were unlisted and private that were from all over the house, be testing out how to do things, and how to do intros and how to do outro stuff and do all kinds of things. What's interesting is over all the years, it's like I want my videos to start like this. I'm gonna do this, and then at the end, I'm gonna do this. And then in one video, I just ended up saying something and doing something, and then that stuck, which was um I always had when I came up with the make life suck less, I knew like, okay, that's gonna be a thing. But in one of the videos, I just started with that intro that I use on everything now. Like, my name is Johnny. Welcome to Go ADHD Go, the channel we give tips and tricks to help make life suck less. That's just stuck, and I just kept doing it. But I did a video, and as I was recording it, I would say stuff, and then I'd say, that sounds like a good idea for a video. And for some reason, as I'm filming it, like that part was over, and it's like, okay, cut this. I did next, and I just went, let's dance, because that's usually during my first couple of videos. I do like this dance in the background where the title would come up, and then I just like that, and so I started using it as the outro. And plus, it became a thing where the channel's about trying to make life suck less, be better. And I realized that by putting dancing at the end, it's hard to have bad days if you're dancing. And it's hard to end the video, no matter what you're talking about, if you have to dance at the end. So no matter what the topic is, no matter how depressing or terrible it is, at the end it has to leave on an upswing, because there's going to be the dance. So that's always keeps me on path, I guess, on brand, as they say. This is what happens when you're a designer your life, and then for your whole life, and then you get a YouTube channel. You think of all the weird stuff like that. Which is why, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I put a lot of stuff in my videos that are just basically for me, in my weirdness. But I think I mentioned earlier that if you look at all my videos, excuse me, my thumbnails colors always match the colors in the video. I don't know if you've caught on to that yet. That happens. In my ADHD Ghost video, everything in it is the color of the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. Don't know if you caught that. The bowls, the car, everything's teal, orange, and blue. Everything. Little stuff like that nobody catches, that I spend forever figuring out for my own amusement. And if I didn't do design stuff, I probably wouldn't even care about that. So weird. Pirate, you tried uploading gameplay here, maybe some ADHD games? No, I don't play games. I think that's why. Maybe also because there's such bajillions of gaming stuff out there. But ADHD gaming is a very tiny niche. And I know there's a guy who does that. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but I know I follow him on Instagram, and he does ADHD games. I think that's actually his channel, or his name is ADHD Games. But it's a tiny niche, which is good, because if you're going to do anything YouTube, you're like, I'm going to do a gaming channel. And this knowledge comes from Brian G. Johnson, which Insane McLean was on yesterday. He talks about, like, if you do just gaming, that's too broad of a niche. There's way too many gaming channels. But if you have a gaming channel angled towards one video game, you're niching down. And then if it's maybe it's an ADHD topic related gaming channel about one game, then you really niche down. So you won't get as many people searching for that, but the people you do search for that, you're one of the few. Just like with ADHD channels, there's a bunch of channels out there do ADHD videos, but not a lot of people who have entire channels dedicated to them. Very few. And even fewer that keep going. Usually they'll have a couple of videos, then a big gap, then a few more, then a big gap, or they just drop off. But like How to ADHD, Stuart Anderson, people like that, I've been doing it. ADHD Patrick, like, that's rare to have them that just keep going. So yeah, ADHD gaming thing, it's like niching down this way to get people, like, to less people looking for it. But if you're the only one doing it, they're going to come to you. That's the trick. I don't know. Oh, here's an interesting question I've got for you. I've been noticing every single day. I don't know if everybody else does this like I do. I spend a lot of time, especially in the morning and like at lunch and in the evening, I go onto YouTube and I search ADHD, and I search filters by newest, recent upload. I forget what it is. To see what is out there. And I'm noticing a massive increase in these ADHD ASMR videos. And the only thing I can figure out is that somebody made an what they call an ADHD ASMR video that did really well, and then all the other channels hopped on board. But the problem is is they're the if you search for ADHD ASMR, they're the ones where they do stuff. Everything is super fast, and they're all like they're doing all like crazy stuff, like all over the place, like. And is it just me, or do these videos not understand their demographic? Because I that have a full blown ADHD, when I see that stuff, I'm like, whoa, hey, that's too much. Stop it. We don't need that. Um, and I think what it is it's people who are think that they're making ASMR for ADHD people, but no, it's like a um, my ADHD ASMR channel. Um, oh, I think that's what it's called, my ADHD ASMR. I think that's what it's called. And she's got the does ASMR, and she does a lot of the quick stuff, and she always wears like I think she has like kitty headphones on or something like that. Um, but she says her ASMR is she has ADHD, so her ASMR is her ADHD coming out, and she does quick stuff like that. But for me, it's like that's too fast. Then there's a guy, he's a pretty big ASMR channel, and I forget his name. I just found him last week, but his is really slow. He's like very calming, does things slowly, and I'm like, "That's ADHD. If you have ADHD, that's what you wanna hear. You wanna hear calming stuff, keep turn your brain down." But for some reason, boy, they are all about the quick stuff and saying it's for ADHD, and I'm thinking, I don't think they understand the brain there, the fast brain, but we don't want super fast stuff like that. It's too much. I don't know. So what else, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be making a video about that because, it was something I just keep seeing, and I just wanna be like, "Well, I don't understand." Know your audience, as I say, know thy audience. And that one guy that does the very slow videos for ADHD, he knows thy audience. We're looking to relax. We're not looking to keep freaking out even more. And same with those videos are horrible. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ASMR where they talk, but there's that I've gone on and on about Veto ASMR, and man, that stuff is cool. Even you can just turn the sound off and just look at it visually, super cool. Sound wise, super cool. He doesn't talk. It's just um, a lot of stuff. It just reminds me of. Have you ever seen like a Coke commercial where they're pouring the fizzy drink over the ice and it's that sounds and stuff? A lot of stuff like that. It's really neat sounding, but visually, it's incredibly beautiful. It's absolutely stunning, colorful, pretty stuff like that. So what other? You can blame TikTok. Yeah, that's why I don't go on TikTok. But yeah, I think they're a lot to blame for a lot of stuff. People are like, "Hey, you should go on TikTok. You can grow your channel and all that stuff." It's like, but I don't want like TikTok. I'm on TikTok 5 minutes, and I've seen all that I've seen to see on TikTok. The same trends being done over and over by the same. I'm not out there to gain a ton of people. YouTube's more fun for me. Same as excited for her 88 followers on Twitch. Twitch is I haven't been on Twitch in forever. I should probably go on there just to see what's going on. I know people do more than just gaming on there, but it's an interesting platform. Oh, Madeline said, "Hello." Is that you might have changed it? Yeah, I don't know. It looks different to me. I'm not. I'm not sure. Okay. Oops. It is an aesthetic. Yeah, it has become. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know. But I do hear people in the ADHD community saying that the stuff that's on TikTok that's all ADHD related. There's so much crud on there that claims and it's ADHD, but it's really not. I don't know. I just don't. Like I said, I had TikTok. I got on a couple times and was like, nah. I think also the mindset is being in a creative field. I want to see something different. People use TikTok. It's like there's a trend, and then they all do the same song, same type of stuff. It's just like I said, TikTok is the copy machine of today. It's somebody does it in there, but just redoing it. But the same thing with Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. It's like the same type of thing they do with, but people that use it to do original stuff like Legion of Weirdos, Christopher Mast, use it for ADHD stuff, and it's original stuff. He's not doing trends or whatever. I think that's neat. But besides that, I just I don't know. I want people to come and learn from my videos and be entertained instead of just having a couple seconds and moving on to the next. Like, see, those videos are horrible. So you should see it's the DID section, even worse. The did? Is that what that is? I'm not sure what that is. I have to look at that. Chex Mix. Quick stuff is only good for ADHD if you're interested in the subject. Yeah, I guess it could be, but it seemed to me the ADHD ASMR videos, the real fast ones, they all do the exact same thing. It's like they saw somebody do it and they all just kind of do the exact same thing. But I have seen ones that are interesting where it's like one was she was a teacher or something, and I don't know, it was just interesting. She was a teacher or she was a doctor giving a diagnosis. But it wasn't super fast or anything, but it was, like, a lot of, like, sounds and, like, she'd be like, just pay attention. I know it's distracting to hearing the birds outside the window, but could you please listen over here? I'm trying to explain something to you." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." But the ones that are all fast and doing they said you watch one and they're all doing the exact same thing. But, but I just don't understand that. Like I said, my ADHD SMR, she says, like, "I have ADHD, I do ASMR, I do the quick and crazy stuff because I got that quick and crazy brain." But the people are just doing ASMR and saying that it's like, you don't it'd be like doing ASMR for deaf people and you're talking the whole or making just snappy noises and them going, that's not good for me. Can't hear you. I don't know. You see, Chex Mix. Have you ever come across Marta Rose, who does Divergent Design Studios, now called the Spiral Lab? You seem to have the similar interests in your channels. You could collaborate. I have, wait, Divergent Design Studios. Maybe I have heard of that name. Marta Rose. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna copy and paste it into my thing. Into my little notes thing here. I just talked about this earlier. Capture. Oh, there it is. Got it. I'll check it out later. You seem to have a similar interests for your channels. You could collaborate. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do collaborations with people, other ADHD channels. Like I said, I'm trying to get this thing going called the Story View. ZTORIVUE Story View, where I will be interviewing kind of people with ADHD that have ADHD channels or do things ADHD related, but they also have ADHD. A lot of like ADHD coaches, ADHD YouTubers that'll go tell their ADHD story. So if they're coaches and stuff, but the catch for them is they're not allowed to promote their business or talk about anything about their business. It's all about them. That type of collaboration, because I want people who have ADHD to hear stories of other people who have ADHD and hear what they've gone through and how they were diagnosed. Because a lot of people that are on my list of interviews, they're all over the world: Australia, Denmark, Holland, Finland, Canada, America, England. They're like all over the place. So it's going to be interesting perspectives and stuff like that. So I wonder how well they'll handle that, though, knowing that, well, when you come on here, I will talk about your coaching business at the very beginning and say, here's what they do. But once it starts, you're not allowed to promote your business. It's all about you. One person I'm interviewing, I told him that already, and she said, that's great. Just all about that person's experience. Chex Mix says, Onid, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know you could do what? Okay, there we go. My little timeline thing here popping up and down for some reason. What else we got? Who is still here? Oh my gosh, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes. This is what happens. I get on here in Chatterbox, and I think what happens is my brain is so chaotic and nuts all the time, is when I live stream, it kind of just, even I'm trying to keep on ADHD stuff, it allows that stuff that's just kind of build up in there to come out, even though it's not exactly what might have been thinking about all week or been building up in there, but it kind of like the release valve. I don't know. But yeah, I do enjoy these. I think it's even though, like I said, like even though there's not a lot of people here, the fact that you guys actually take the time to come here and listen, to me ramble on about whatever. It's so neat. It's just one of the coolest things ever. I wish we could though that we could have like people together, like talking, side by side, asking questions. There's got to be a way to do that. I know there's software out there you can do that with. I need to figure that out, like OBS. I don't know. There's something, but I've always wanted to do like these live streams with a bunch of people in them at the same time. I think that would be fun. So who knows? But I need to get going because Discord. There it is. Somebody said Discord. Oh wait a minute. I deleted my message. Discord. I want to do a Discord. Actually have one set up. I just need to go through and I want to make all the channels because like ding designer brain. It's got to make sense. But yeah, I want to do a Discord, like a kind of like a Patreon Discord. I know about creators that do that. It's just kind of neat where everybody that's in that Discord are people who are supporting that creator. And they're always fun because what's neat about it though is if you have like a normal Discord, like anybody can join it. You get all kinds of people. But if like the Patreon ones at the Patreon only Discord, you know that those people are interested in that subject. And so it's a cool place to go that weeds out a lot of stuff, I guess. I dig it. Discord. Do it. Yeah, I do it. I do have it set up. I have it going, but I just need to figure out channel names and stuff. Like I said, I rattle on about that chapter a lot, but I love his Discord where his Patreon is done in a cool way where it's just a $2 tier and then you can edit it and make it whatever you want. But his Discord is like everything's got the word that before it. So there's like that memes, that upload, that crime, that whatever. I think that was kind of cool. I was trying to think of a way to do something like that with my channel before I saw his, but it ended up being too messy. Like Go Meds Go and Go Help Go, stuff like that. But I don't think that's going to happen. See it. Damn, I'm poor though. Yeah, I totally understand about like Patreon, like not being able to support things, but it's still cool that, like I said, just being on somebody's channel and interacting is a huge thing because it's like I said, it's making money at it would be awesome just because then you don't have to, as much as we don't want to have to worry about money, making money at something, doing something you love is great. Like I do online t-shirts that I've been doing since 2007. That has really taken off over the past few years. And it's awesome that I'm making money doing nothing. Like I haven't really uploaded any shirts to my shops or anything, and probably like in a big amount like I used to in probably a year, and it's still making good money every month, and I'm not doing anything. It's awesome. But yeah, that's like a big driver for me though. By getting money for doing something, I want to do it even more. Would you think it'd be like, well, keep doing what you're doing until it starts making money? It's like, yeah, but once it starts making money, then I become obsessed with it. I don't know. It's the dopamine thing. I think it's what it is. Like, Shinki is great for Discord. Love that. But okay, you've mentioned the Shiniki thing before, and I checked it out, and it was some lady talking about Discord. I just have to learn more about Discord and bots and all the stuff that's going on there because I have no clue. Discord can have Patreon rooms and public rooms. Oh, I did not know that. So I got a lot to learn. Pirate asks, what's your job? My real job, I'm a graphic designer, professional graphic designer, and I do design work for various clients. But over the past 10 years, maybe, I've done design work for a handful of clients, but one client I've done mainly with, which is called Brand Shepherd, brandshepherd.com. And it is, we do all kinds of design stuff for those for companies. I do everything except for web design because I just don't know how to program. It's another way of thinking. But yeah, so that's my real job is it's interesting too because the guy who owns Brand Shepherd, completely opposite of me. Very buttoned up, very on top of everything, very, I don't know, he's just great at what he does. And then there's me who's chaotic brain all over the place. So a lot of stuff I design, come up with ideas, and he wrangles it in and does everything else. So it's like a real small team, but it's great. We're a very small team. So yeah, that's what I do. And then I do t-shirts that I sell online that they're on Amazon and on Spreadshop. If you go to shop.go.adhdgo.com, there's like stuff in there. I'm building that one up now. But I've been doing that since 2007, those type of things. And that's what's great is, if you ever want to make some money, the shirts, just, simple. Actually, if you go to, I think I just set this up. If you go to create.goadhdgo.com, it'll bring up this website. And there's probably, I don't know if there'll be if it automatically puts one of my designs on it or not, but if there is, hit the trash can and then touch the type tool, and then you can type stuff onto the shirt on there, and they will print it on the shirt. It's so cool. And I highly suggest that if you do that and you type in like anything on there, um, whatever you type on it, when the printing, select flex print and then select, I think it's called specialty, and you can do it like in metallic, shiny print. It's like an iron on. It's so cool. But yeah, and I started all my shirt stuff all because of my crazy ADHD brain. It was an ADHD quote that I put on a shirt that's ended up going viral. That really, I mean, I did a bunch of shirts, just weird stuff on it, like those weird things that pop in your head that sound crazy. Yeah, write it down, put it on a shirt, and people will buy it. It's strange, but that's what happens. But yeah, and then those shirts started selling. It went viral, really took off. Then I just kept doing it, and now I have tons of stuff on Amazon, Spreadshop, Redbubble, like all of them. But yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And plus it's making money. Like the Amazon one just sells stuff every single day and makes me money, and I don't do anything. They print, ship everything. Once I upload the design, that's it. Done. What's the idea behind the name? Pirate asked. My favorite, when I wanted to do an ADHD channel, I looked at what everybody was doing, going, okay, that's what I was going to do. Giving this real insights and details and explanations of why we do what we do, and all the pretty much it literally was how the ADHD is doing is what I was going to do. And I always tell people that when I found that channel, it was frustrating because she stole my idea that I had never told anybody about, that nobody knew about. And somehow she took it and did the exact same thing, which is mind-boggling. Of course, she didn't steal it, but it was that exact type of thing. So I decided, which ended up being the best thing ever because it made me switch gears, and I ended up doing something I liked even more, which is presenting ADHD stuff in a weird way, but trying to help people see more of the positive side. Not that ADHD is a positive thing, but looking at things differently and learning things that might be different in order to make your life better. So it's always got to be kind of like a positive thing. And so when I did that, I was like, it's kind of like most people are like, oh, ADHD, it's terrible and horrible, and it is. But for mine, it's like if you can learn how to deal with it, you can do great things. So it's like, okay, go ADHD, go. Like that's what I kept thinking. And plus, my favorite book of all time has always been Go Dog Go by P.D. Eastman, which is a kid's book. And when I was coming up with the name, it's like I originally had just Go ADHD, and then somebody had it, and then I saw that book again. I was like, Go ADHD, go. That's perfect because it's more gusto behind it. So that's the main thing, because I know that there's a lot of ADHD channels out there, and they do focus on the downside, and they want people to let them know that they're going through the same thing. But for me, it was like, that's what I deal with all the time. I don't want to make ADHD videos where, if I'm miserable, struggling all the time, I don't want to make a video where I'm about me struggling and being miserable. I want it to be about that, but then I want it to switch and find a positive part of that. And then just do weird stuff while doing it, which all the weird stuff that I do in there, like in the last video, making the travel posters and stuff, that stuff just gets locked in my brain, and it's like, oh, I got to do that. So hopefully I'm doing something different and enjoyable and entertaining while educating and hopefully making people go, yeah. So Paradise, like encouraging, you can, yeah, it's like that. It's like I said, it's go ADHD go, as in it's is encouraging, as you can do it. Instead of being like I am, like ADHD, it's terrible, I hate it. But once you start discovering things that you can do to make life better, then it's like you'll start finding ways to make your ADHD work for you, hopefully. But me being creative ended up being my ADHD is a massive, massive benefit. Huge. Like coming up with shirt ideas, I just churn them out like mad, and people are like, how do you do that? It's like my brain. When I did stand-up comedy, they're like, how do you write so many things all the time? Like what? It's like my brain. That's how. But I've got to get going because my throat is all dried and weird now. And I'm so glad everybody signed on. There's probably nobody here right now, but that's okay. I talked to myself for a half hour. I can talk to myself half hour again. But as I got done when I was talking with Karen earlier this week, is you know, just being in front of the camera and talking like this will make it easier for me to make videos. Hopefully my brain will get over that, like having to write everything and script it out and blah blah blah. So, kind of proven I can talk about things and be cool, I guess. Sorry, I'm dropping things off the camera. So thank you everybody for joining me, doing this thing that I'm doing in my basement on a Saturday, because that's how I roll apparently. So hopefully you guys will join me again. I'm gonna try this again sometime soon. So I'll see you next time. Let's dance.